Cutting. And go.
Hello everybody and welcome to Failcast F1 podcast. With yourself, it's really done my throat in that. Myself, don't do that, I need to high pitch it to balance it out. Woohoo! With myself, Mr. Balkenberg, and alongside me as always is the mercurial taco man extraordinaire, definitely Zero. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, hello, mate. Yeah, I'm all right. I caught a glimpse of myself in my little stream monitor here, and I was like, what the fucking hell is going on there with my hair? But not much to do about it now.
Is it not aerodynamic?
No, I'm not cutting it. I've just got out of the shower, you see. I wanted to be shower fresh for you all. And yeah, I'm not cutting it. No, not happening. Not while my hairdresser is prison guard.
Is this going to be the standoff?
Yeah. Until she comes back, stops this wild flight of fantasy, I'm not cutting my hair. It's not happening.
Epic main.
So, episode 3 already. We're getting through this season. I'm really enjoying the new format, and we've had quite a few lovely comments on my YouTube and through Twitch messages. So people seem to be liking it too, which is making me happy.
That's good.
We got one request though. So, it was pointed out in one of my messages that the teams have a real budget in the game that they spend on upgrades to the factory and so on. And as time goes on, you and I are going to become increasingly expensive. And they asked that we try to avoid cheaping out and to try and get the wages to which we're entitled, to see how that spices up the transfer market.
Oh, okay.
It's totally voluntary on your part, but it's what I'm going to do on mine. I'll see how much money I can make. We also got quite a few interesting suggestions. So one message was saying, I'm sorry, who was this from? This one was from Warren, actually. He's on my YouTube for Grand Prix World. He was saying either...
Hey, Manna. Hey, Preston.
We do a... one of us goes to Ferrari, one goes to Aston Martin. And
we have to score some points to get there.
Yeah, battle of the brands. Or one to Williams, one to Haas, and see who can burn to the front first. I like all those ideas, to be honest.
True.
But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens, right? We're going to try and play it authentically, I suppose. So we're at Alpine at the moment. I have to say, we've kind of under-delivered so far, this part of the season. We have 26 points on the board from a fluke win. But other than that, we've both failed to score in the last 3 Grand Prix. And we're now going into Hungary, which is the halfway point of the season.
Yes. And
we're not where, logically, I think we should be. And I've made some discoveries since we've been last on air. And I want to know if you've noticed the same thing. And chat, feel free to dive in as well on this. So let's go to game view. So the first thing is the difficulty is incredibly inconsistent. By which I mean, and it's not just like, because I'm not particularly good at Bahrain, but I won in Bahrain, right? I've been playing some My Team mode and some single-player career mode to try and get a better feel for the game. So in my single-player career, I did F2 and then I went to Haas.
Right.
And at Haas, I'm usually qualifying sort of P15, P16. But in some races, like I've just done Belgium and I finished P4 on merit. Other Grand Prix, I can't get anywhere near the points. Likewise, in My Team mode, this is all the same difficulty level, by the way. Started at Austria, which is a track that I really struggled at, people will remember, in this season. And got pole position in a back of the grid car. Same difficulty level, same track. Like, none of it makes none of it makes any sense to me, and it seems really inconsistent on the difficulty front. Likewise, although the other areas of car development do have a serious impact, and particularly at Austria you notice if your chassis and aero are lacking, I found that as long as I've got an engine that isn't a Renault,
yes,
then usually I'll do quite well. I didn't realise how bad the Renault was compared to the others, because it's just a number on the screen, but having driven some other cars now, the Renault sucks ass. And you've noticed as well, we keep getting monstered on the straights by the Alphas.
Yeah. It's interesting actually, because so I'm busy building a little mini series where I am going to do a My Team for 2021, but I am doing it in an edited format. So without doing too many spoilers, I've designed the Osella racing team from the 80s and into the 90s. Beautiful blue. There's no purple. It's making me spin off my axis. Because I was doing, we'll see if this will become a series, because I'm doing a full season. But what I've done is I have, and I'll explain this properly in a video, but just like a précis. So I've turned everything that I can have down to its minimum, and I've given everyone else the maximum, so that I can't monster through the car development as quick as everyone else. 10 race season, just like what we're doing, so that I can then have basically every video will be a season. So it's just going to be a 10 video series. Those videos will be lengthy, but they will be structured and edited into proper videos that aren't just me just going laps around everywhere. And funny enough, what you were saying about inconsistent difficulty, I'm having the same kind of issue, that even though my car is now actually the slowest because I'm not given the upgrade points to keep upgrading as fast as everyone else, I'm still able on some tracks to keep up with other cars. In other tracks I've fallen way off the back. I've just had an absolute blinder of this will date it for when these videos go out, but the last race that I did was in Austria, and the race was complete carnage because no one can take the final corner into the pits when someone else is pitting, and they smash into each other, and so we just had safety car after safety car after safety car, and it ended up with the top 5 included, I think Russell and Latifi were in there for a while, and then it doesn't do a safety car for the last few laps. So it was just an absolute smash fest. So yeah, it's going to be heavily edited, 25% races, but the full 10 calendar. And then, yeah, I just didn't want to be a team that, I want my Minardi to be my Minardi that stays at the back and is generally shit all the way through. I don't want them to be coming to the fore in 3 seasons, which is what I did last time. So I hope that makes sense.
I agree with you. I think I'm glad they've given us those options, because the natural pacing they give is probably for someone who doesn't want that experience, who wants to feel like they're progressing.
Yeah.
But I like that they have those options. I made an excellent livery for my team that I'm going to share on Instagram.
Thanks, mate.
All right, so we learned in the last episode that allowing the computer to drive practice for us adds so much wear to your components.
Yes.
So shall we go do a quick practice and get ourselves some points?
Yes, please, because I have not, although I have downloaded a setup for this track, I have not raced it yet.
And just so you're aware, the forecast suggests heavy rain in quali and practice 3.
It's all right. If it's dry for the race, I'll stay with a dry setup.
And for anyone watching live who hates practice, I'm with you. I hate practice too. But there is enough time in a session, or a session and change, for me and Simon to actually finish all of the practice programs, and we won't have to do all 3 sessions. So don't worry, we will be respectful of your time.
Oh, it's rained for That's interesting. Remember, we've done approximate weather settings. So it starts off for the race at 87%, goes down to 68, and then 19% after 30 minutes. So that's going to be a wet to dry, you would think.
Yeah.
Setup. That'll be juicy. I'm still going with the dry though. So I'll just run through my setup just in case people are after. I've basically, if you go to f1carsetup.com, someone on there called James seems to have release setups for people on the day of the launch. So they must get an advanced copy somewhere. And they generally seem to work. They're a bit mishmash on the tyre wear, and they follow the exact same suspension geometry across almost all of the tracks, which is like extremes one side or the other. So
it looks very dark outside this garage. Why does my weather forecast say like bright sun when clearly it's quite heavily overcast?
Wow.
I like the not knowing. Let's be honest. I like the not knowing. That's fun to me.
It'll be like a rubber out on track. Try to take it easy for a couple of laps.
In other news, I've officially decided that, because I've been up and down over which is my favourite, but this is my favourite looking car of this year.
Okay.
It's official now. I'm not being shaken from that position.
You will not be shooketh.
No, the lady's not for turning.
One of them is for throwing out of UK Parliament.
Oh, yeah, I'll outsource all of your jobs before I change my position on this. The Alpine is the best looking livery of 2021.
Aww.
Like at first I thought the white and the sort of orangey red ruined it, but the more I see the car in real life and in this game, the more I realise actually it's a stroke of genius and it works really well.
I just like how patriotically French it is.
Yeah. And as much as I like the Aston Martin in a photo studio, I am glad they're changing it.
Ooh,
I know, like, the interesting thing was at the start of the season everyone was like, that's not British Racing Green, and I was among them because I was an idiot, but it turns out it is the original British Racing Green, and we just didn't know because TV was black and white in those days, and it turns out British Racing Green has quite a lot of blue in it. But what I was expecting was sort of a Caterham green or a Jaguar green.
Yeah.
Which apparently is not British Racing Green. It's called something else. Heritage Green or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping they go for that. I mean, don't be wrong, like I was pleased to be wrong, and I was pleased that they did go for like the original, authentic British Racing Green, but it just doesn't look good on camera. It just does not look good.
No, and I think they know
track.
as well. Oh, this is pulling. This is a terrible setup. James, you're rubbish. Mana has put in the chat, yes to the livery. Fat-necked engine intake, no.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that too. But to be honest, it seems they've made the right decision because they're not doing too bad, are they? It's interesting to see Fernando come alive again. I mean, I still think he should be retired, but as long as he's sticking round, he's been doing all right lately.
Yeah, it's changed my opinion of him a little bit, actually, because I thought he was just going to come back to pick up Le Pension, but actually he's showing some balls to the wall, which is nice.
Also, I think I don't want to speak for both of us, but I think I will, in saying well done Sebastian Vettel sticking around after the Silverstone Grand Prix to pick up trash for 3 hours.
Yeah. Chatting with the fans, having some fun, loving life. He's been doing quite a lot of these like different talks on different subjects actually at the moment. He's turned into a little eco-warrior man of the future, which I'm liking this character arc.
Yeah, the redemption arc of Sebastian Vettel. I'm glad he's starting to find his feet in the car, for one thing, and it's changed my opinion about whether he'll still be around next year.
Yes.
But he's becoming an ambassador for the sport that I wish he'd been when he was winning championships.
Yeah, it almost feels like now it's less of a... like there's less at stake, so he's now devoting more of his time to it. Whereas I feel like if in like the ideal world, you would do that kind of thing at the height of your prominence. Not saying that Vettel is not prominent, but...
Well, he's not as prominent as he was, let's be fair. It's not like... I mean, you can go full races now without ever seeing his car on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw him or heard him mentioned once, actually, at the British Grand Prix. I don't even know where he finished.
He retired because he spun off, didn't he? Well, and then was stuck at the back, not able to overtake anyone. Jesus Christ! Now I'm boxing from this setup. This is terrible. Get rid. Note to Smithy.
Well, glad we did a practice for sure now, because if this had been your qualifying, I would have been gutted.
Yeah, I can't.
For as long as we're on the same team, I want you doing well. I'll save all my ill wishes for when you inevitably, or I inevitably depart.
So we aren't going to Hakkinen and Coulthard it and never part ever.
Well,
or a Lacey to the burger. I'll be a burger.
If we were really in F1, we would easily be the longest consistent driver pairing of all time.
12 years a slave.
Yeah, exactly. 12 years of teams consistently making the same mistake twice.
That is true.
Oh, get the fat useless one and the other fat useless one. We'll put the money into the factory, don't worry.
I thought you were just talking about each of my moves then.
But otherwise, I am generally loving the game. It might be my new favourite in the series. Mostly because of this mode. I'm enjoying this even more than I thought I would when I spent years asking for it.
Looks like they left a little trolley in the tray in the garage. Yes, they did. It was skiddy. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this mode as well. So I've nearly done all of Breaking Point as well. My opinions on it are highly divisive, and they're going to be even more divisive now. And I don't know if you've seen it actually. They've released a trailer for Grid Legends, which is basically Toka Race Driver story mode in the Grid game. And they've hired like real life actors, and it's almost like they've gone for like an FMV adventure in between the races, because it's real life actors being not CGI'd motion captured into it. I forget the actual technical term for it, but they're like superimposed humans into the game. And I swear one of them is off of a Netflix series as well that I recognised. But yeah, it's all like, oh, my name's Nathan McCain, you can't catch me, I'm going to be a champion for the 6th time. And I was like, no, this is cringe.
Well, like, look, yeah, I agree, that's cringe, but the idea is something I'm totally behind.
Yeah.
Just have the drivers be believable, right? We hear enough unguarded microphone speak now to know, and I hate when games feel the need to like make characters over the top. Right? I mean, Devon Butler actually, to my mind, wasn't that bad. Like, maybe a bit over the top, but like he wasn't unbelievably evil when they introduced him. He was just arrogant. But like, they've got these voice actors who say a few lines in the menu screens, right? Why can we not interact with them? Why can we not verbally discuss contracts and so on? It just seems like a natural evolution to me, and I've always been someone who, I don't want to play Breaking Point because I want to be me. I want the experience of being an F1 driver because I'm too fat and incompetent to do it in real life, right? That's the point of video games. It's escapism, right? It's like when Peter bullshit Molyneux made Goddess, and it was like, oh, a God game where you have limits. It's like, I don't want limits. It's supposed to be a God game. Like, why would people who have no power and authority ever want to fantasize about being a god? I wonder. Like, just make the game that we want. And it's the same with this, right? I like playing as myself. I'm still a bit resentful that I can't choose to drive under my actual name in this co-op career mode.
Yes. Well, your name's banned anyway. He thinks
yeah,
it's
my
rude.
actual name is banned.
The trauma is real. Two more minutes until my rear wing is repaired.
Oh, I didn't realise you were stuck in the garage.
Yeah, it had a weird... came out of a fault as I was coming into the pits.
Right, I'm going to have to try that again because I've lost too much time behind this car in front.
Sorry, we're giving you some well-deserved airtime.
Right, so I'm now nearly 4 seconds off the pace for quali, but I'm going to try again, if it lets me. I do want to give it another go. Why are you making me come into the pits before I can do that?
Oh, was you doing a quali sim?
Yeah.
It only lets you do it once. I noticed this earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but why do I have to come into the pits to try it again?
Yeah, there should be like a redo button on your...
Well, not even a redo button.
MFD.
Like, they don't do that in real life. No, sorry, you've done it. You've done it now. You failed. We have no interest in sending you out again for the data.
Failcast. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of hopeful that they can do something good because they've gone backwards a little bit. Because do you remember the original Grid? Where they had like everybody's first name recorded, and there was some interaction with like race engineers and everything. And then I don't know, like Codemasters are a bit frustrating like that because they do certain things really well, and then they just forget about them. It's like
and then bring them back in 10 years' time as new features again.
Yeah, it's like when they first did the classic Cars and Tracks, right? I mean, yeah, they didn't have all the great cars that we would want. But you remember it had that like sepia overlay on the coverage and old style graphics and everything.
Yeah, the 2013
I loved that
one.
mode.
Yes. Because they had a different one for the 70s, the 80s and the 90s, didn't they? Which was why it was really cool. And the old timing graphics and...
Yeah, and it's like, surely it's more work to remove it than to leave it in, right? Pressing delete is one more action than it's just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It doesn't have to fit on the disc anymore. It's a digital product. We download the stuff, right? It's not even like there's disk space to save.
It's like, because it's not as if it's going to run out of thingy, is it?
No. It's the same engine. I cannot for the life of me understand why they remove these things. They go to all the effort of making them, and then they're like, people like that, but let's get rid of it. Also, I do want to complain though about Podium Pass.
Ooh. Sketchy pass.
Well, just the thing is, like, for a game where if you want to play it like I do and you want to customize your guy, why do you have to wait so long to get a decent looking helmet randomly unlocked? Like, just give us everything. Give us all the liveries, give us all the helmets. I mean, I suppose it's better that you can unlock them through play than everything has to be DLC, but, I don't want to show my age too much, right? But do you remember back in the good old days, like the 90s, where when you bought a game, like, you owned the game and everything in it, and then occasionally they'd release expansion packs, and maybe an expansion pack was like 10-15 quid, but it was like a whole extra 50% of game.
I can hear echoes of Grand Prix 3 2000.
Yeah, Like, it's just... I know maybe games today cost more to make, or, well, that's not true. They cost more to market, let's be honest. But, I mean, it does feel like we've gone backwards there, and that's why I was concerned when EA stepped in to buy Codemasters, because a sale had already been decided, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Because, I know it's only going to get worse under EA. And it's not like we're asking for very much, right? Just a semi-competent F1 simulation with authentic features and plenty of customization and the ability to like have a decent career mode. And good multiplayer functionality. Like, take all the modes you've got now, make them multiplayer. Like, let us go head-to-head with our teams. Have a Players' Constructors Championship. The core mechanics are all working great. I think the addition to testing, where testing now unlocks discounts and things, I think that's possibly the best solution to simulating how real F1 teams collect data that you can put into a game without making it totally random. Leave it alone. Just more of that, please. Just enrich it now.
Yeah. It's and UI in menus. I was worried for this game when UI in menus was being treated as like the big thing, and I was like, oh no, we've gone that low, have we? There's plenty of other things that they should have shouted about more, I think, than we've redesigned the menus, because actually I find half the menus more annoying than what they were before. Talk about actual features that make things more exciting and lively as we go. I've not found the liveries too terrible, but I have spent my complimentary Bitcoins for pre-ordering the game. I've spent them all on 2 liveries and a soundbite for crossing the line. And that's me done. And what I find frustrating with the podium pass is that there's very little way to unlock more points through playing the game and rewarding that loyalty. It's giving you stuff that's already in the game, rather than being able to let you fish out of things that maybe would have been paid. But if you grind for it, it's there. That's what slightly sits on the awkward side for podium pass for me, that I don't like.
What I also dislike is that a lot of the stuff they create is bullshit. That totally takes me out of the authentic F1 experience.
Some of them are like you're having a epileptic fit on the side. The Masquerade one that I was looking at the other day.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's supposed to be a reward, right? And I don't think Codemasters know what a reward is. Because, it's like, oh, well done, you got a great result there, have some experience points. Also, would you like a racing suit in pink urban camo? No, I wouldn't.
Well,
just give me the money. Just give me the money and let me buy something I actually want and would use. You can always tell who's 14 in multiplayer based on who's got that sort of ridiculous livery.
Or name.
Yeah.
Boom.
XXX Sephiroth 69 XXX.
It's funny, I've gone on and done a few online multiplayer lobby games, and they've made like this casual mode where obviously you can just drive through everyone, there's no contact at all. But then I ventured into the ranked lobbies to see how, just to remind myself of, because I thought, oh, do you know what? Now that they've made modes like that where anyone that can't actually race alongside each other can just cling on for dear life, maybe that will clear out some of the chaff from ranked. Nope. People are ramming each other, people get angry. I've muted everyone anyway.
This is why I don't play multiplayer on these games in the first 2 months after release, because I want a good ranking, right? And I've made the mistake in previous years of playing multiplayer early before all these people get banned.
They don't get banned though. That's the problem. You eventually get sorted by safety rating.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They get banned from like the serious racing through the sorting mechanism, and because the thing is, like, I'm trying my best to drive utterly cleanly. In fact, I'm sacrificing position to avoid contact just for those early races while being ranked, and then someone will ram me for fun, and I get penalised because they rammed me. And we say it every year. All a computer can do is determine that contact happened. It can't determine intent.
Yeah.
And, I applaud Codemasters for trying to come up with the solution for this, but they're never going to fix it. It's just not going away.
No.
And casual mode would be a great idea if there was still contact in it. But people who want to crash, and there are people who want to crash, they will now go to ranked and ruin other people's safety ratings, so they can have their cheap thrills.
Yeah.
Wow, this engine is thirsty.
I am not fast here. Or stable. It must be said as well. I'm having...
Have you tried adding some downforce?
Yeah, I'm on 10-11. Oh, sorry, 11... Yeah, 11-10 wing. Because if it's going to rain, I need all the wing I can get. So I'm on a maximum downforce setup. And it's just there. I've not gelled with this car very well. I'm much more competitive. So I've got on my career mode, I've got the AI at 90. And I'm using very similar, if not identical setups, and much more with it. It's bizarre.
Which team are you with?
Osella, my own one, at the back.
Oh. Yeah, but here's the weird thing, right? Like I was saying at the start of the episode, I find my team car far easier to drive than the Haas or the Alpine.
Agree. Completely agree.
Which, to my mind, that's not how it should be. Like, it should be the worst car in the game by quite some time. It's a brand new team.
There's a bit of a boat. Yeah, 19th out of 20. Not a good look. And they're all on hards. Oh dear. I might be back of the grid. Although that will give me a nice little excuse to take a 60 place grid drop for some new parts.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the same because there's no way I'm going to make it to the end of the season with the parts I've got now.
Boo. So I was thinking about an interesting topic that's going to be nice and juicy for current topics. If F1 was an Olympic sport, what track should host the Olympic event, and how would you want the F1 race to run? Would you change anything?
Oh, that is a very good question. That's a very good question. Because, like, a lot of countries compete. Mm-hmm. So you'd probably need heat races before a final Grand Prix. Almost like old-style pre-qualifying, except everyone has to pre-qualify.
Pre-qualifying's crossed with A1GP.
Yeah.
That'd be heaven, actually. Give me it now!
And because of the format of the Olympics, you would have to do the old style where everyone gets a lap, like one-shot qualifying.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how it works. Like, if you're, in a heat for bobsleigh or whatever, you get one shot and that's it. All cars equal. Here's a question though: setup. Should the cars all be set up identically?
Ooh,
because I'm not sure how it works. Because I'm not sure how it works with things like archery, rifle shooting. because I know the Olympic Committee has to approve the gear that you use, but I don't know if it's totally functionally identical.
That's
I've damaged the under tray. That's why my car was feeling a bit wonky. I drove over a curb too fast and damaged the floor.
Boo.
But I love that you can do that. I do love that you can do that. Wow, it's hard to tell
I've buggered my rear
where
wing
I'm
again.
going to be.
So it's 1.1
I'm currently sat.
off, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm 1.1 off Max Verstappen's current fastest time. However, Lance Stroll's on the medium tyre and he's only 0.3 behind me, so I'm guessing if he was on softs we'd be on fairly comparable pace. Vettel, Lewis and Bottas are all on slower tyres. Then again, like, so many people seem out of position, like Perez.
Yeah, hard tyres 2.2.
Yeah, this all seems a bit wonky. Anyway, let's go on board with you if you're out.
No, I've broke my rear wing, so I'm back in the pits waiting for it to be repaired, so I won't be out again before the end of the session.
No, me neither. Should we retire then?
Yeah.
Save everybody the bother of waiting around.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay,
sorry, go on.
No, I was going to return back to the Olympic stuff, so clear up what you was going to say before.
Oh, I was just going to say, oh wow, I finished 8th in the end. This game is weird. Behind Giovinazzi, those alphas are really dangerous to us at the moment. But again, I'm loving it. Yeah, sorry, please continue.
Oh no, it was only...
one more
yeah, go for it.
Sorry, one more thing. Do you need to do another practice session?
No, I'm good. I'm going to be looping around towards the end, the rear on this one. I know I will. So I'm good to go.
All right.
I know what I'm going to try in quali, because in quali you can still move around your front wing. So I'm going to try a 1 above and a 1 below my 10 rear wing. So I'll go... I was doing 11-10 there. I might try a 9-10 to see if that helps. Manu in the chat was just saying Olympics, it would need to be a spec event, which is I guess that's what you were saying around specific setups, obviously specific type of car. So would it be 20 Mercedes, 20 Red Bulls? That would be interesting, seeing all that together.
No, I'd insist on 20 Williamses. No, really, it should be whoever comes last in the Constructors' Championship, because it's a great source of revenue.
Oh, yeah.
So whoever finishes last in the Constructors' Championship, yeah, you don't get any prize money, but you do get the contract for the next Olympics. Of course, it's only once every 4 years, so maybe it's like the aggregate who was last the most, who was the crappiest over the 4-year period.
Yeah.
I'm wondering as well if I shouldn't take a wee penalty.
Maybe decide after quali, because then you'll know where you're starting. And then if quali goes tits up, then you'll know if you want to take a drop here or somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm going to switch to some less worn components for quali, because I don't want a drop in engine power on my hot lap. All right then. To quali we go. I'm not at all prepared for the rain. I haven't tested a rain setup. I was going for like as little downforce as possible to get through the quali program. So there's a very, very good chance I'm going to bin it in this session, because there are some corners here where I tend to ride the curbs, and in the wet that makes you really spin out.
Especially on this version of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it simulates more accurately the weight of the gearbox in the engine, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
What's it telling you?
Oh, it was just all of the development boosts and all of the stuff that it was giving us. Sorry. I was just seeing what... Because I was like, how did I not get any development points? And it was because I didn't actually complete a practice program properly. But I did get some boosts for us. So I wasn't entirely shit.
Oh.
Sorry.
I didn't even notice.
I was just trying to justify my life. No. It's all good. It's all good. It was all good. So, I was thinking that you would have a track that would have a national layout for the heats for the Olympics, and then you'd do the full track for the actual race itself, but that you would have two formats. You would have the actual race where everyone starts all together, and the fastest person in heats gets to then be either on pole position, or if you're going to all start alongside each other, like in MotoGP, they can pick where they are going down to turn one, and they'll just have to have like a really massive off-road somewhere where everyone kind of drives in. And you would have like race mode, but then you'd also have like time trial thing, a bit like where you've got bobsleigh where everyone just goes one after the other. You would have like what's it called, just like a one lap, fastest lap kind of wins that, but you could do it like over a 3 lap kind of mini challenge. But in order to do that, it has to be on tyres that are for all weather purposes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Like, in the full race, do you want pit stops? Do you have a national pit crew of, like, the fastest...
Yeah, that would be...
The fastest mechanics in your nation.
See, that makes me want to yearn for the old Formula E, where they have to jump between cars. That would keep it interesting.
Well, as someone once pointed out, that actually, in Season 1 of Formula E, if you had Usain Bolt as a driver, even if he was quite slow, he'd make up several seconds in every car change. But really, like, you know, Olympic front jackman for Team GB. You know, it'd be quite interesting. I mean, also then the question is, though, do you have nationally designed cars rather than spec cars? Have an Olympic formula, and it gets like, there's so many interesting possibilities that the question throws up. Mm-hmm. Because part of the reason I like F1 is to see like the talented engineers, and to see, like, I love it when teams have an interesting solution to something.
Ooh, that's just given me an amazing idea. So, how about the Olympics give a blueprint, and then you have 48 hours to design the car that you have for your nation, and then your racing driver has to drive it as fast as possible. It'd be like a game jam where you've got to do something within a time period, but it's over the Olympics. Certain budget,
I
certain
love
times.
all these ideas. I actually do love all of these ideas.
Oh dear, I need to get out more. It's only because, obviously, the Olympics was having its open ceremony today. I love an opening ceremony for the Olympics, but I was trapped in a horrific meeting at work, so I wasn't able to watch it. So I'm planning to do that after this with possibly some Bombay mix and a cider.
That sounds like a very tasty combination. Although I have to say, the Olympics has never really grabbed me.
Ah,
It's just people in leotards.
I suppose that goes down quite well in the gay world, but yeah, it's.
There goes the front wing.
Oh no! That's what she said. Oh no, can't really do that.
and now I've got now a McLaren drove into the side of me.
Lando Norris is out of the session.
Yeah, he drove right into the side of me after I span, and he's punctured my side pod. So now I've got like cooling problems apparently.
God, that'll do your aero no issue.
Well, yeah, I've had a damaged side pod before and it was not good. I wonder if it can be fixed. Apparently I qualified P6, although I span over the line. So I could possibly have been a lot faster. I'm trying to stay off the racing line, but it's actually pretty fucking difficult without a win.
Oh wow. Oh, I just have...
Why is everyone stopping?
Yeah, I've noticed the blue flag AI is now really quite hot on pulling over and getting out of the way, which makes it quite tricky, because where I was hoping to be lapped in my team playthrough and stuff, I was like, oh cool, the AI will be terrible, they'll move over and cost themselves loads of time, and they're much better now. And I'm like, no, this used to be my strategy.
Well, what I can say is that 2 Mercedes and 2 Ferraris have all just ruined each other's laps, because I think it was Bottas was behind me. I moved over to let him through and he pulled alongside and stopped, basically. Because his AI obviously thought I was on a hot lap, even though I've got no front wing and a damaged side pod.
Fab.
Well, this is going to pretty much compromise my qualifying, so it might be that I also take some serious grid penalties here.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Oh, in other news, you know, on the front of all things French, I'm actually going to France tomorrow. This is our last stream for 2 weeks.
Yeah. What part are you going to, if you don't mind me asking?
The Basque country.
Ooh, lots of history.
So I'm going to Biarritz, which I read as Bizarritz, and I thought that's where all the bizarre people go, so it makes sense that I go there. Oh, I hope the rain doesn't get worse.
I thought I'd just done a really, really good lap, and now I've just seen that Mazepin's ahead of me. But Russell is behind.
Right, I'm losing 3 minutes 33 in the pits. That sucks. But it does mean we can go on board with you.
I'm just touring in, but I will be going straight back out. Could tell that he was on board. I've only ever been to Calais in France. I can't say I've been very well at all. Went there for a day trip on a hovercraft.
Oh god, you're showing your age now, because they don't didn't they decommission those like 15 years ago?
I think so. It was 2000, or I mean between 2006 and 2008, because that was when I was in the relationship with the person that I went with. So at some point during that period of time.
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. That was amazing.
I had the wherewithal to not try and touch it.
That is the second best pit entrance we've done on this show. Utterly phenomenal.
I'm getting PTSD. I was watching one of my favourite YouTube channels is MSVD or MVSD. I can't remember which way around it is. He does motorsport crash compilations and all of that kind of stuff. And he runs like the weirdest things in motorsport, like compilations. And it's one where someone's driving around the Nürburgring like the actual circuit, not the like Holden Nordschleife. But his bonnets come up from his tin top, and you can't see where he's going, and he's just kind of trying to work out how to get around the track by touching the curbs. And the commentator's going nuts, and he goes, "Oh, at least he's made it to the pits." No, he hasn't. He just, like, at 25 miles an hour, just goes towards the pit wall, and of course he can't see it, so he just goes straight in, and he's just stuck there. And it's the most pathetic crash into a pit lane I've ever seen in my life. Loved it.
I'd take a set of intermediates in these unpredictable conditions.
Do you know, like, my Sector 1 and Sector 2 times are actually fairly respectable. 32.
Talking of another favourite videos of his, he put together a crash compilation of the F3 race weekend at Monza, where it got called off because the driving was so shit. It involves Giovinazzi taking out Lance Stroll on the exit of the first chicane at Italy, and Stroll nearly flips over the barriers at the Curva Grande. That's the highlight of it. Charles Leclerc gets taken out somewhere. Raghunathan smashes into Callum Ilott because he just doesn't brake at the Ascari chicane and just flies over the top of him. I was like, what on earth is this?
I remember you and I talking about that clusterfuck on a podcast the weekend it happened.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because that was truly embarrassing.
Horrendous.
What's scary to me as well, though, is that Callum Ilott was in that race. And he's still not in F1.
No, I know. He's going to be the next forgotten man.
See, the thing is, like, I actually thought he might end up at Haas or Alpha, but it turns out it looks like the rumour is that the Alpha lineup for next season is Mick Schumacher and Valtteri Bottas.
What?
Yeah, no, genuinely. And it was reported today that Bottas has done a deal with Alfa Romeo, right? But it's listed as a rumour. But the sources, one of the sources was Sky Sports Italy. And whenever a rumour comes from Sky Sports Italy, it's always correct. They're the ones who broke Raikkonen signing for Ferrari again from Lotus before anyone knew about it. They broke Charles Leclerc's multi-season contract. God, the list goes on. There's so many sort of rumours that they've put forward at the time. They can seem a little odd, but then have gone on to be true. That makes me think it's a done deal. I mean, they do like Finnish guys who are past their best, so it's kind of a natural progression.
Swap one for the other. Poor Bottas.
But in happier news, and this is someone that I hoped would get a shot at Haas or Alfa Romeo in the next few years, Charles Leclerc's little brother,
Arthur.
Gaining 21 places in his race last weekend. What a sensational drive. Just unbelievable. How good would it be to have both the Leclercs at Ferrari at some point? That would be awesome.
Yeah, because I didn't realise that they were related at first. It took me a while to catch on to that. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because I wasn't quite sure if Arthur was quite on the same level. But no, it's just he's a couple of years behind. That's why I was getting confused. Because obviously
he's a bit younger. He's still in F3.
Yes.
But 21 places in a single race, that's pretty epic. And the sort of drive that's going to catch some attention. I tell you what, the Ferrari Young Driver Programme, to my mind, is the most exciting one out there right now.
Yeah, they've got loads of faces all over the shop. And they've not got enough teams and seats to stick everyone everywhere, which I find interesting, because and that's why I think Ilott will end up being a forgotten man, because already people are like, but Robert Schwartzman, and I'm like, well, I think he'll be a forgotten man very soon as well, because you've got Arthur Leclerc and other people like already making bigger waves in the next Formula Down. And I'm a huge fan of Guan Yu Zhou, who's in the Renault Academy driving for F2. And when I was watching their races, and he lost the F2 Championship lead this weekend because he dropped it in, I think it was race 2. And he's had a couple of like just bad luck races as well. So he's lost a really, really healthy lead. And I was just looking at all the comments in the chat, which is always a toxic thing to do. And loads of people are just saying, well, he'll never go anyway because go anywhere anyway because he's got third year tax. And I thought, what do you mean? And then I thought, well, they're expecting that only the people that win in its first, maybe second year should ever be considered for F1. So if he wins it on his third year in F2, he's already considered over the hill and not competent. I thought, oh. And then I thought, well, Jolyon Palmer took 4 years, so there is precedent there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find that interesting, the way how that kind of works.
It is. I mean, because also I like Lundgaard in the Renault program.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So there's 2 drivers in the Renault program that I actually rate fairly highly. And it seems like he's going to evaporate into nothingness. It's kind of a shame, really. See, if there was any justice, it'd be Eilert and Schwartzman at Haas next year.
Yeah. Potentially.
And
if
Fernando
he's looking
would
at just
retire,
Ferrari, anyway.
Yeah, and Fernando would retire, and either of those Renault drivers would have a crack at the Alpine seat. Nikita Mazepin would be shot into space.
Thanks, Bezos.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Bezos did it right, shooting himself into space on a massive dick.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a more phallic spacecraft in all my years.
That's a good shout, actually. And then I was in the chat, Teopor Chair is looking good for a future Alpha seat too. Yeah, he's super young. I think he's got a couple of years to develop. But that's a kind of a bit of a poisoned chalice as well, because if you hit F2 so young and don't perform immediately, which I think is where Christian Lundgaard has slightly slipped up, perhaps, he'll have third year tax next year if he doesn't get in, and then that's his title bid. And if he wins in 2022, will people be like, oh, no. You're buggered either way, I think. And Vestry, there's 2, but Frederick Vesti, I think, is the other one that people are getting excitable over. But I think it's too early for him as well. We need more teams on the grid. That's the whole bloody point. We need more excitement, which is why I'd missed that it was the 2022 car launch for F1. I think I might have said this last week. I actually thought that they were launching an F1 Academy team. When I saw the livery, and I was like, oh my god, they're going to have... Because then I was like, cool, it gives an actual progression. At the back of the field, doing a Minardi, I would love a couple of... Even if they were deemed as the junior teams at the back, I saw nothing wrong with the Caterham, Virgin, HRTs trundling around 4 seconds off the pace. So long as they were providing...
Racing each other, yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind a Formula 1.5 going on, so long as they're racing each other and they're providing experience and there's a wealth. I find there's nothing wrong with a body of field. But then we go.
No, I mean, I agree. We definitely need more teams, and I think, honestly, it's a viable way to run a team.
Oh, you've got a 5-place grid drop.
Oh, it'll be for causing a collision, won't it? Which I didn't cause. So I qualified 11th. I'm going to line up... Wow, I out-qualified Bottas.
What? How happened? How is Bottas lining up alongside, just ahead of the 2 Hasses? What happened there? Jesus.
Okay, well, if I'm going to be bumped down to 16th, I might as well install a whole bunch of new components, and we'll have an all-blue rear last row, huh?
Maybe. I'm ahead of a few people that I didn't expect to be. I might end up being a bit of a bottleneck and help you along. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it's your call, sir. But I definitely didn't deserve that penalty because I couldn't have moved out of the way. It was impossible. Impossible.
You talking about computers not being able to understand intent? I was having a really good discussion yesterday. This has nothing to do with F1 whatsoever, but it's just popped into my head. Around how people have been trying to program AI in machine learning to understand sentiment of Manor House. Send an email to Massey. get on the radio like Christian Horner and everyone like that's not a corner for overtaking. We'll have to get on to some juicy bits of that. Sorry, just to finish off the point. So with AI machine learning, around how they're trying to pick up sentiment of positive and negative sentiment. You get that about like brand loyalty and stuff like that. But we've been... it was talking around how Samaritans UK were trying to do it on people's social media so that they could spot whether or not people were going to potentially self-harm or commit suicide. And then they were going to alert their friends to try and step in. Great idea.
Terrible idea.
But in terrible execution and everything. It got shut down after 9 days because of the amount of carnage it was causing. But obviously, just like in sim racing, it can't understand intent. Sentiment AI does not understand sarcasm. And all of that kind of stuff. So everyone's like, oh my God, I was trapped in a meeting, I'm just going to kill myself. And it's sending off like alerts to everyone going, warning, warning. But then it doesn't know who your friends are. So it's like notifying like Amazon tech support and things like that because that's who you're following on Twitter. It was hilarious. So, yeah.
Well, see, here's something... to weigh in on that, because in my job I work with machine learning, and it's really good for saving time on very basic boring tasks, but it's completely crap at anything that requires nuance or insight or whatever. And like the problem is, like I actually shared a video on this on my social media not too long ago. I mean, I hate the word social media and I'm trying to get off it because it's just it's a blight on society. It really is. But there was a great video done by Upper Echelon Gamers looking at the effect that algorithms are having on people's lives and machine learning. And there's so many horrific examples now, and it's no different to China's social credit system in many ways. Like, instead of the political party making a decision about whether you can buy train tickets or not, it's an algorithm deciding that, like, your child can't have medical insurance because you live in a neighbourhood with high crime or whatever. Like, there's been examples of people having their medication cut off by mistake because the AI was like overzealously trying to save money. So I'm not surprised it went wrong. And like, Microsoft learnt this the hard way, right? Because they built an AI to interact with humans, and within about 6 hours it became a full-on Nazi.
Yes.
And they rebooted it and the same thing happened.
Another example that I can think of is I think it's in Malaysia. They'd pulled together. They was trying to do AI thing about how you can determine whether or not someone's going to be a criminal by their photo. And so they pumped in all of these photos of everyone that's criminals and then other people to try and get the machine learning going. And they were saying, oh God, it's 97% accurate in our tests. And then it went off a bit on the rails when it actually went out into general testing. When they actually looked under the hood, what it was doing was anyone who had a frowny face, they said was a criminal, but anyone who had a smile, they thought would be good in society. And it's because all of the photos that they gave it to machine learning were mugshots. No one smiles in those. So when it was then looking at like LinkedIn profiles and Facebook photos, everyone's smiling. And so it was determining whether or not your end of your mouth was above the midpoint of your mouth, and determining that therefore you'd never be a criminal in your life. I was like, oh my God. So they kind of pulled it away from being like implemented anywhere. And that's where you kind of like, Christ, in some instances, if that goes out into the wild, you never quite know what you're going to deal with and come up against.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because it can work very well, but it has to have the correct data.
Yeah.
And there's often no way of making sure it's getting the correct data. But I mean, like sometimes even when it gets the correct data, it reaches the wrong conclusion, right? So, controversy alert here, but there's been quite a few cases of AIs turning a bit Hitlery, right? And the thing is, I'm not going to get into the reasons why or delve into it or whatever, but, there are discrepancies between different groups of people in terms of like educational attainment and so on and so forth. And the AI would, being a cold calculating AI, would come to the conclusion, right, that if you want a fair and just society, well, there are a lot of Jewish people who go on to university and get very high paying jobs, and they tend to test very high on IQ. So then it reaches the conclusion that a certain Mr. H did nothing wrong. Because it's a computer. It's solving a problem like a computer. It's got no humanity. It's not able to discern that people are more than just statistics and general trends, and that the greatest invention in human history is the decision to treat people as individuals and not as members of a group. And that's why they make these horrible decisions. And they'll never get things like, why do I have a Williams helmet floating in front of me?
Oh, sentient Russell. I can't see him.
He's in my grid slot.
Oh,
you bastard. Span off the line because I was freaking out.
Virtual safety car. I don't even know what position I'm supposed to be in. Go.
That was embarrassing.
That was a good start. Is Norris alive now? Yeah, he is. Sorry, Russell, even.
He was merged into my car in the same grid spot. And, No, I need a full safety car so I can have a pit stop.
Sometimes they upgrade it, but we might need to smash.
Alright, well this race is fucked for me then. Because there were not enough laps to recover from a first lap pit stop.
I reckon we might run into plenty of trouble yet, don't worry.
So that was a very weird bug. In all the years I've played this game, that has never happened. And like, it suddenly decided to do the collision detection, and then I just lost it and went right nose first into the barrier.
Sorry, Giovinazzi.
Don't apologise to him, he's got a better car than us, beat him.
But he's better hair than me.
I hope for points now rests on you.
Oh, we're fucked. Next up's Mazepin in 13th. How the hell's that happened? Schumacher's in 11th. What did Haas drink today?
Well, he qualified P12 because some
Hype
people in front.
Energy. Oh, not Hype Energy. What was the stupid homeless
Rich
badger?
Energy.
That's the one. Homeless badger energy.
Their German website has gone offline with no explanation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they've taken, I don't know if you've seen them on Instagram, but they've taken to posting video game screenshots or old photos of the horse and talking about powering premium and premium British performance. And it's like, okay, but you have to go back 2 years before, since you were relevant. But the weird thing is, they do sponsor a MotoGP team.
Yeah, and BTCC as well. They're in.
Yeah. But they've gone very quiet on the F1 front, haven't they?
Yeah, after going, we're making big announcements and all of this stuff. The big announcement was there was no announcement at all. Maybe that was just the kind of the announcement was we are not going to throw our bullshit here.
Well, no, because he did a pre-announcement, then he did a second pre-announcement, and the second one said, an associate of ours has, as in it's already been done, bought a majority stake in an F1 team, and we will be unveiled as title sponsor. Which obviously, is not out of the realms of possibility, right? And I honestly thought it was a dirty deal with Mazepin. And I don't know if you saw this, but the other day Gunther Steiner was getting queried in the press conferences, asking, is he going to be replaced as team principal by Mazepin's dad?
Oh, wow. Does his dad do any kind of management of that type at all?
No, he owns a Uralkali, which is a Russian chemical company, I think.
Oh, cool. Chemical War, sponsored by Mazepin.
It's either chemicals or petroleum or something, but he's seriously fucking loaded.
Yeah.
And Gunter was sort of denying it and saying, well, at the end of the day, it's Gene's decision. But I was thinking, in the last Drive to Survive, I have to say Gene did not sound happy about F1 or you, really.
Yeah.
The only good thing about Haas at the moment is the adorable relationship between Mick Schumacher and the team.
Yes, that
particularly his engineer.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip from the British Grand Prix where he was like, "Oh, my wife and kids are at turn 11. Could you give him a wave?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Oh, someone's gone off somewhere.
Oh, that's good. That can only be helpful to me.
It might trigger something. That's what I'm hoping.
It's going to trigger my Vietnam flashbacks.
Oh, shit.
You're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about
I immediately cut a corner and Jeff goes, "You're doing really well out there." I'm like, all right, sarcastic bitch. Drink more Prosecco, bitch. Oh, he says 10 more minutes of rain.
Yeah, this is why I knew having to stop on lap 1 was going to fuck me, because we have to change to dry tyres later on, so I'm going to be the only person who 2 stops.
Come on. Mind you, I say that as if, someone coming in who has no experience of running an F1 team is, something new. That's all that ever happens, is random people coming. I mean, Lawrence Stroll is doing a mighty fine job with getting Aston Martin up and running and commercially viable and all of that kind of stuff. So it's not a bad thing at all. I mean, I guess if it's losing the team or having him in, I'd have him in.
Yeah.
But no, you're right.
To be honest, I actually do think Mazepin's dad will buy the team.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Gene Haas has zero interest in being there.
And I think he's waiting for the new 2022 agreement, maybe 2025. to all be kind of confirmed, because then what does that do? That raises the price of the team because it's guaranteed entry slots that you're going to have to buy for.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm hoping he doesn't sell to Mazepin in that case, and maybe some other consortium can come in. Yeah, I mean, because to be honest with you, like, I think, even though I was critical of them initially, well, sceptical, shall we say, the Rilton Capital are doing a great job at Williams.
Yeah, seeing their progress over the course of the year, seeing George in Q3, qualifying 8th, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, really, really pleased.
Gap to the car in front, 17.7 seconds.
Whoop, whoop.
P19.
And I have to say, actually, that wasn't a George-only performance in the race as well. Latifi was at the back of that ginormous train, battling for points. So the pace.
I don't think Latifi's been that bad at all.
Not in the races. Quali, he lacks, but race-wise, he's not so bad at all. I agree. Whether he's a team leader, I don't think so. So whoever comes in should know how to lead said team, which was why I always kind of thought our Rotas returning back to Williams with all of that knowledge and expertise may reinvigorate him and pull the team forward. But I can also see the Alpha working as well.
To be honest though, if I was at any team outside the current top 3-4, the Williams seat would be the one that's most appealing to me.
They seem like the ones that are going the most places at the best speed.
Well, I mean, like, I know George Russell's an exceptional driver, right? But, like, that is a car that is objectively capable of Q3. Right? Because it's happening. No, I mean, it's happening.
I don't agree.
Well, I mean, like, it has to be capable or else it wouldn't be there.
But it's there because of George.
Yeah, well, he's capable of unlocking what's inside the car, but the car still has to physically be capable of getting around the track in that time. It has to be fast enough. You know, you just need a driver brave and skilled enough to know how to coax it. But, like, if you had a driver of the same ballpark skill, then in theory you should be around the same position. And that's a team that couldn't get off the back row for quite a few years. They've now got a team principal who I rate very, very highly.
Yeah.
They're attracting sponsors back, and the Rilton Capital have invested a huge amount of money in the team, like way more than I ever expected. To the point that, you know, they're talking about next year hiring proper drivers, like not taking pay drivers.
Yeah, because the latest rumour in there is that they want Nick de Vriesen.
Yes. If they lose Russell, I believe it's Nick de Vries, and then they want a team leader as either Kvyat or Hulkenberg, which I think are both very solid options.
Yeah.
For a team I expect to be in the midfield.
As long as I don't want a podium, then go for Hulkenberg. But then clutches of fourths, I think they'd quite happily welcome.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, like, you know, if I was in any of those middle-of-the-road teams, I'd definitely be thinking, well, 2022, do I take a punt on Williams? Because they're making the most progress year on year, alongside... Well, wasn't Alpha the ones who gained the most time the last 2 seasons, but it seems to have sputtered out a bit this season.
Yeah, less so last season. It was like the 17-18, potentially 18-19. I don't know what it was for this year or not. Because it was when it was the Ericsson-Leclerc season where Sauber kind of came into their own.
Yeah.
As Alpha, sorry.
How did you feel about the extension of the Alfa Romeo deal?
nothing? I don't know. I still see it as Sauber.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like, I'm kind of glad because it offers significant investment in the team.
Yes.
But then, like, now they've spun up Sauber Engineering, and they're making some money with that, and they are attracting sponsors back, but a lot of that came after the Alpha deal, so I wonder if it's brand association that's driven it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but part of me was hoping that they would back out of that deal so that Sauber would return to the grid as Sauber.
Yeah, Leclerc's out, by the way.
I wish that was more helpful to me than it is.
Mazepin's broke his wing, so that's that. Oh, shit. Schumacher has a 5-second penalty. Carnage, love it.
Green flag.
Driver in front. What happened to Giovinazzi?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe he was the one that went off behind me.
Yeah, it says he's got front wing damage, but it's not affecting his pace too much. But I've gone from 17.7 seconds off the back of the next car to 6.5 seconds, and there's no way I've made up that time on pace. So he's obviously had some misfortune.
He was battling with Kimi quite heavily behind, so I think he's been off. Mazepin pitted, by the way, for a new front wing. Because he hit Leclerc when Leclerc tried to retire.
Okay, I'm coming up to Giovinazzi at a rate of knots, and I don't know why he's driving so slowly and not pitting.
I wonder if he's trying to... I'll be interested to see if they've tried to stick Mazepin on dry tyres.
I can tell you. Hold on. Driver behind. No, fresh inters.
Cool.
I don't think, actually, I'm going to stop again.
I don't think it's going to get dry enough. Yeah. I can see you've wrote something, Manna, but I can't actually read it because I'm having to proper concentrate. I will look at it as soon as I can, though.
This is actually the toughest race I've had this season. I'm not too bad in the wet as long as there's not too many slow corners, and this is quite a lot of slow corners. Oh, I've had a question as well. Are either of us tempted by a mid-season move?
I'm not going to, because I don't want to cause drama too early, because we've been investing in the car, so I want to see some kind of...
Where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just, as a general rule, don't like mid-season moves.
Yeah.
This isn't Red Bull. Or Jordan. Or Prost. Get out of my way, Giovinazzi. Okay, so I've managed to recover to P17. Remarkable. Right, let's see how fucked I am now. Driver in front. No, Jeff, that's not the... No.
No, Jeff, no!
Driver in front. He's just said the best thing ever.
What do you say?
Gap to teammate behind is 29.5 seconds.
He says, Latifi just in front, push for position. You're gaining by 4/10 a lap. I thought, oh, that's not too bad. Gap to the car in front, 18.2 seconds. That is, by no definition, just in front, Jeff.
Love it. Schumacher's pulling away. I'm not going to catch his 5-second rule, or especially if I run out onto the grass like that.
Who am I racing?
Mazepin.
No, bullshit. Latifi is... I'm not racing Latifi. He's 18 seconds clear and we're on lap 12 of, like, 16.
Ooh, Hamilton fastest lap. Are we getting to a point where dries are happening?
Tyre information. No, I didn't want to know how much fuel I've got.
Jeff loves you.
Tyre status.
I hear Jordan. Hi, Kane. Kanye night. I thought that said Kanye night. I was like, oh my god. Kanye's in the house.
Soft tyres.
Ooh.
Box this lap.
Bold.
Well, he's just told me it's crossover time. And I'm already fucked, so... I might as well be the first, right? And I can tell you, so we don't lose positions to the alphas, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ahead of Kimmy, but all DRS enabled. That's good enough for me. Soft tyres.
Roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop. Gap to car in
How is it?
8.1 seconds.
Possibly still a little early
Okay.
for my refined tastes.
Right,
It's a little squirrely.
I'll do one more lap.
But it's coming. You know, you wouldn't...
Yeah, Norris has just pitted. Shit.
But my lap times are not dropping, so... I'm about as slow as I was on the inters.
Okay.
But as we know, the AI cheat in this game, so...
True say, true say.
Well, it's an old school Failcast here with another race where I'm pootling around at the back with no one in front or behind. Just driving the laps. I've done a Perez.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
Taken a reasonably competitive car and just binned it. Oh, hey Kanan, how you doing, mate? I hope you're well.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Okay, yeah, it's just told me pit.
I honestly, mate, I think you were right to wait, because it's only now that my lap times are dropping.
Oh, Bottas has got a penalty as well.
This is excellent news. And now I'll be about 34 seconds off the back of Latifi and about 18 off Mazepin and Giovinazzi.
Oh, someone's having a really stinky bonfire.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. You'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into
Or
Your
someone's
crazy
just...
neighbour's not back, is he? Check your front door's not on fire.
I was tempted. Was tempted. It smells like a mixture between bonfire and joss sticks.
Oh, a bit of Adrian Mole's diary there. Driver in front.
No, Kimmy.
Driver in front.
Oh wow, Norris gained 8 seconds on me in that.
I'm now P17. George Russell ahead, 34.3 seconds. Like, how is that even possible? Yes, I've had to pit twice and everyone else has only pitted once, but I'm not even that slow. I'm faster than the cars in front. It makes no sense. It's an outrage. I shall write to my MP.
The car ahead is 7.8 seconds.
Actually, who is my MP?
And
Oh,
have they been...
it's a fat bald guy who looks like an egg.
Oh, so not someone that's been thrown out of Parliament recently.
No, not Eric Pickles, the other fat egg man. Ben Wallace, that's his name. Yeah, I saw my laptop flicker, Canaanite. I don't know what happened there, but thank God it came back. So I'm too emotionally unstable to deal with a crashing stream right now. I've already got a PlayStation that sounds like it's going to take off. Here's a question for everybody. When on earth is this PlayStation 5 shortage going to be over? Because I know it's a shortage of semiconductors, right?
Well, they've started making a new version. I thought, well, no one's got the old one yet. Can't wait for that to be kept up with scalpers and all of that jazz.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to see a few places claim to have them, right? But, and I was sorely tempted the other day to try one that seemed legit, but I'm guessing that anyone who says they've got one, and runs a retail website is lying. Because I checked all the big retailers, none of them had it. And like the ones who do have it say 600 to 800 euros for the digital edition. Whereas legit stores, it's 399 euros.
Right.
So, what I wanted to do this year was upgrade to the PlayStation 5 and build a streaming setup in the other room, and hopefully it would be quieter. But now I'm going to have to invest in one of those aftermarket cooling stands for my PlayStation 4 so it shuts the fuck up when I'm trying to stream. Problem is finding one that works that isn't also louder than the fan inside the PlayStation 4. And you can't do that until like you buy it, and by then it's too late. So if anyone has any recommendations, that would be great. If anyone also has any recommendations for how to find when a PlayStation 5 is in stock somewhere legitimate, because I wouldn't mind, but these places don't even take pre-orders, which I think would be super smart. Just like
Hold the money.
send people an email in order that they sign up. You can even take the money in advance.
I guess the scalpers are so busy just smashing through everywhere and having no... I've never known this be such a problem before, scalpers, compared to previous gens.
Well, I mean,
and
actually,
the
it's not
barefaced
too-
cheek of it as well.
It's actually not too big a problem in Germany, weirdly, because all the retailers from day one said one per delivery address. So not one per customer, but one per delivery address.
Interesting.
So even if you set up multiple accounts with a bot, unless they were all shipped to individual addresses, you couldn't get them all. So the scalpers here, and there are still scalpers, they have to physically go to the stores, and they'll go around the stores, I guess, because they're also one per customer in the stores.
Right.
But still, like, I know coronavirus had an effect, but, you know, China's been open for quite a while now. It seems odd that we're still so far behind on the production numbers. That not only does no website give any indication of when they'll be back in stock, but neither does Sony, really. Not that I've seen, anyway.
No, I don't know what this new version is supposed to do. Maybe it's going to try and cut out some of the components that they're stuck on that they can't get to. But yeah, I'm not in the market for one until next year. I'm making some choice decisions around living situations and stuff like that, and that's to take precedence. Just diving through the chat, Manna says longer HDMI cable and stick it in a different room. Like that.
You know, you joke, but that is actually something I've been considering, genuinely considering.
I have to do so when I capture all of my stuff on my PlayStation 2 and how it all kind of all the cables go around each other. I have a 10-meter cable that I have to kind of run around in different places to hook it all up. I feel like I've got a massive skipping rope in here all the time.
Well, the thing is, like,
sorry.
Now I'm streaming through OBS. Like, I am in like a fucking nest of cables in my living room, and I have to set it up and I have to take it down before and after every stream, right? And that's why I've not been streaming as much, because I don't want to half-arse it and have just the native PlayStation stream when I've put time and effort and money into making something nicer. But I've got a webcam on top of my TV and a ring light. I've got a Stream Deck, a microphone, a laptop, I've got a capture card, I've got all this weird stuff here to capture you. And it's a pain in the arse. And if I had a second console, I could leave this one here for Netflix and everything, and then in the other room have the new console, a separate TV, and have everything permanently set up, so I just have to sit down and press go live, you know. No, I hoped Lando would win, but sadly not.
No, he was busy leapfrogging me in the pit stops a little bit. Chat for a second. My room is quite smoky, so I just want to see what is on fire and close a window if I need to.
It's not your house, is it? Because that would, I'll be honest with you, that would really put a dampener on this stream.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
I blame the team, because I have no other option. Well, actually, no, just everyone was shitter than me, so... the car was sticking to the track. Oh, I have to, even though it's wrong, I'm going to have to go with the pun option here, because the pun is the highest form of wit. What was Simon's key to success? You say I need a dungeon, like I don't have a dungeon. It's part of my morning routine, mate. My first hour when I'm having a coffee, I just go down there and torture the midgets. It really sets me up for a day.
I love that that is what I returned to.
I was answering questions about you in the press conference while eating Swedish chocolate.
Amazing.
Blobsky, blobsky, flobsky.
There is a shop in London called the Scandinavian Kitchen, and they have loads of Nordic sweets. And one of them is, some of them have like not swear words, but they're like silly names. So it's things like slut. I think is one of them.
Hey, hold on. I like slut. Whenever I go to Norway, I always buy a bag. I always buy a bag. And race car. The fizzy race car wheels. Those are my favourite Nordic sweets. The rest of them are bullshit, but except slut, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know if it is slut, but it's a word like that.
No, it is slut with 2 T's.
Oh, okay.
You were right.
Interesting.
Well, I'll let you get back to chat, but just taking a look at our results, it's not exactly a roll of honour, is it? How is it that I won in Bahrain and it's 12th, 17th, 19th, 17th?
God.
What the fuck is that?
Manor House, fakely Mackenzie asked if your team must have been ecstatic with you. What race did she watch? The burn! But very true.
Right, we are at Belgium next.
Okay.
But it's in 3... Oh, no, it's not. How far away is it? I can't see.
It's got the weird season break thing.
Yeah. So we might have time to unlock a powertrain upgrade. Do you want to take a look in the charts? Because we've got 1584 to spend.
Okay.
Not enough for side pod turning vanes in aerodynamics. Our chassis development's already on the go. Okay. But it is enough for a new crankshaft. Ooh, that's a sexy word, isn't it?
And 27% off your crankshaft.
Yeah. Would you like to crank my shaft?
Ooh, missus. Go on then.
Yeah. Let's... we have a horrible engine. It's really crap. As if we didn't know. Okay, and that saves us 839 points.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Canaanite, sorry, you've fallen prey to the auto mod. The auto mod is overzealous. It's somewhat of a fascist. My moderator bot, and I'm going to have to turn it off. I just forgot. I apologise. I hope it's not too inconvenient. Shall we jog on with time then?
Yeah, sorry, it's just confusing me because it's got 2 out of 19 upgrades, but it's only given us front and rear downforce. I'm assuming it opens up more stuff if we upgrade the actual factory.
Yeah, what I don't like is that the cars still have a theoretical maximum.
Yes. And they're not all identical by the looks of it either.
Yeah, which I don't like. Like, it should... Like, especially if there's a formula change, it should be possible...
Uh-huh.
For your new car to have more potential than your old car, in my book.
Yeah.
Okay, so our chassis upgrade has arrived. We are 3 days away from our weekly resources, and then on race day we get a new front wing end plate, but our crankshaft will not be ready.
Just in time for us to whack it off at turn 1.
So we'll skip forward 3 days, and then we'll see what we can unlock, eh?
Yeah. Let's do it. Oh, hello, Andrea.
Honestly, though, like I was writing a buddy of mine. He was asking about this new game, and I said it is worth it for the co-op career mode alone. That's my honest opinion.
Wait.
I'm having so much fun doing this with you. Like it's even more fun than the traditional Failcast, just because there's much higher stakes and things matter a bit more.
It has reinvigorated it for me, I must admit.
So, powertrain or chassis? Let's see what we've got. We've got lightweight wheel whims. Why did I start talking like Jonathan Ross there? Wheel whims. Turn into Jonathan Ross. Right, I would say cockpit weight reduction because that is a far bigger upgrade than a plank.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that plank isn't thick. 2 Cs.
I love that that's an upgrade. It's like a joke upgrade. It's a plank. I mean, the cars don't even have planks anymore. That's why they spark.
What I'd really like is that they... Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I think it...
So it's a completely superfluous piece of wood that we can unlock.
What would be really cool is that then was unlocked in the second driver simulation room, and you could just pick it up and whack it round there.
It's my turn now.
Drive faster.
Right, I have a question for you. Do we
always pineapple? Oh,
do we go ahead and order the cockpit weight reduction, or do we save for the rear downforce upgrade of side pod turning vanes?
ooh.
Because if I go back, our chassis and aero are pretty close in terms of outright performance. On that little pie chart.
Uh-huh.
So our chassis weakness is no longer there. What are the next Grand Prix? We've got Belgium next, and then after Belgium, it's
Netherlands, and then
it's
Italy.
Zandvoort. It's Zandvoort and then Monza. So really, we want power for Monza. But what's better for Zandvoort, do you think? A weight
Chassis.
reduction or some more aero?
Ooh. Either could help there, because it's all turns that just lead into each other, isn't it?
Yeah. The car does feel kind of heavy, but I don't know if that's a chassis or an aero thing. I'm trying to measure now which is the bigger upgrade.
My own man tits ballast thing and my one, to be fair.
The aero is a bigger upgrade.
Oh, okay.
So, should we save for that then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We know Spa's going to be hell
Definitely
because... yeah, definitely. I mean, Spa, I think, is going to be painful because guess our engine.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication
We do have a terrible engine.
So I expect us to be struggling at the back for this one.
Then again, I qualified P15 in a Haas and then finished the race P4.
Juicy.
So if I can do that in a Haas on the same difficulty level, then logic would dictate that we leapfrog Ferrari because I win this Grand Prix.
I'm loving this alternative world.
Yeah, but this is the only complaint I have about this game. It's that the difficulty level seems inconsistent. Yeah. Like there's some kind of, I don't know if it's maybe a bug specific to certain tracks where the AI are just taking it wrong. I mean, I actually had an interesting bug at Spa in my Haas playthrough actually. So I went down the inside into turn 1, right? And I watched the replay, perfectly clean. Like I was ahead going into the corner. And as I turned, the cars behind me all tried to take the same line, all turned into each other and me, and half the grid was stuck at a standstill facing my side pod. And like all the back markers went through. And I still got up to P4, so right, do I want to put any different components on for practice? Yes, I do. And I'm just going to hope there's not a quali sim.
I'm buggered. I'm buggered regardless. Quali has a small chance of rain, race is dry.
Okay.
But I shall be... I'll probably wait till Suzuka and then do a massive spree on parts if I can make it that long. We'll see. If I do terrible
if you think you're going to qualify really badly here, then maybe it's better to get out of the way.
Yeah. I'll see how I go. But if I'm 17th and backwards, then I'll do it. Because I'm hoping that my old Brazil charm can come in and I can at least get myself on the bloody scoreboard.
Yeah, we're over the halfway point of our season now, and
I've
we failed to score. We failed to score in 4 out of 5 races, and you failed to score in 5 out of 5. So Alpine should surely fire us.
Oh, I've got
this game's...
My lubricant system has faulty. I shall show you to my bedroom drawer, Jeff.
Okay, I know you're eager to get out there, but I'm going to need you to be patient.
That's what he was hoping for all along.
all those whispers in my ear.
I need to inspect your lubricant system. I agree with you, Kane, and that's a question that came up as well on the last stream. Is there going to be more Grand Prix World? There is going to be more Grand Prix World. I've decided to swallow my pride, and even though YouTube have upset me greatly by putting ads on my videos after I promised everyone who's watched me for the last 7 years that I'll never put ads on my videos, but even though it makes me angry, and all I can do is make the content, and if people get annoyed by it and don't want to watch, then then I can say it's not me being boring, it's YouTube ruining it for me.
Yes. I'd also as well, just because it's free to do, I've opened up an account on Odyssey, and you can basically, as soon as you upload and publish something on YouTube, it automatically pulls it across onto Odyssey, and Odyssey is the Bitcoin-driven YouTube alternative that rewards you for watching videos as well as uploading them.
Why have I never heard of this platform?
It's lovely. Shout out to Low Budget Gaming for showing me it. He is so infuriated with YouTube that he actively is just trying to find alternatives so that he doesn't have to be on this platform anymore. So and he's a huge thing on that. So he always goes off and finds whatever's up and coming. And this one seems to be sticking and getting more features and momentum. I also really like the fact that so it's part of, like, as you watch, you build Bitcoin up in the background, and when people view your content, you get Bitcoin, and you can choose whether or not you want to pass that on to support creators and transfer your Bitcoin over to them, or if you want to withdraw it and turn it into real cash.
I really like that. Right, there you go. That's an announcement. I'm going to open an Odyssey account, and I'll put my YouTube back catalogue on there for anyone who prefers it, because I also want to get away from YouTube and from Google. In my job, I work quite closely with Google, and they are evil. No, they are, because I hear them say things that they'll never say publicly. Mm-hmm. Right? And I had a meeting with them. So I was supporting the marketing team inside my company on some techie stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had a meeting with Google, and they were talking about advertising options, and they genuinely brought up the possibility of interstitial ads on Stadia. And I got so furious in that meeting, I actually slammed the desk and I told them, if you do that, you'll kill that platform.
Ugh. It's hanging on its legs by the sound of it, as it is.
Well, I tell you what, I've been a very happy GeForce Now customer since day one, and I can't recommend GeForce Now enough. I pay like $3.99 a month, I think, and I never have to buy a PC again. I've got a very nice, stylish Microsoft Surface 2 laptop, and I can play all the games I want on that. Buy them on Steam, so I still own the games. Or as far as you can own them on Steam. And then you just open GeForce Now app, it dials you in to a server with all the latest NVIDIA tech in it and AMD. And it used to lag quite a bit, but now it's pretty flawless, and I have a crap internet connection.
I was going to say, how's the lag? Because my worry with that is that it tries to predict what your moves are going to be and all of that kind of stuff if you do have a dropout connection. I'm so old school. I like physical things. I look at that and I just like go no, but I can also see some of the logic behind it as well. So I'm not like.
No, I mean it's definitely not for everybody, right? But the thing is that as I've got older, I've been gaming less, right? I still enjoy it, but I just don't have as much time. And the time came towards the end, just before we switched to doing PS4 for the podcast, right? And it was always a problem for the life of this podcast that every few years we had to upgrade our PCs, and it was incredibly expensive, and one of us had a good PC and the other one had a shit one, and it affected the race performance. And the thing is now, like, I'm 34, nearly 35, right? And, you know, my family will be like, why haven't you replaced your sofa? And it's like, because I've spent my money on a gaming PC. It just sounds more and more immature.
This sounds like
and
a
also
conversation that I have with my parents quite often. Yeah.
And I realise, like, it's costing me a fortune, right? Which wouldn't be so bad, you know, because I think it's good to spend money on things that you love. Mm-hmm. And I do love gaming. I just don't do it enough to justify the expense. And then if I bought a proper gaming laptop, it's full of, like, LED whiz-bang lights that I can't take it into a meeting because I look like a 14-year-old. So for me, at least, GeForce Now, like, that made a lot of sense. Because honestly, try finding a powerful gaming PC now that doesn't look like it was designed by the guy who does the visuals for Fast and Furious.
Yeah, mind you, I'm a bit of a sucker for a rainbow LED light effect, but I appreciate that it does make me look like I'm about to do some kind of techno-German trance night out somewhere.
But it's way too excessive for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want a PC that doesn't embarrass me when people come over. Because, you know, I'm at that age now, like, you know, when it's different. Like, when you're in your teens or 20s, like, every guy you know is a gamer. So they get it, right? But most of my friends now are, like, married dads. And they just don't play video games anymore. And I get silently judged when people come and see me, you know, if I've got, like, nerdy stuff everywhere. Like, my collection of Mini Champs F1 models is already getting the side eye from a lot of people, but I'm not giving that up for anything.
No. Facebook
But then when I
groups and
tell
Twitter.
them, when I tell them the value of what's on that shelf and how it's far more than I paid for it, then they shut up a little bit. Because I got some bargains. Like, a lot of my Mini Champs stuff came from, like, the disgruntled wives of collectors. And they're like, oh, it's just a plastic toy, so £5. It's like, you do realise that's worth like €75, right?
You should do a little, not like an unboxing video, but a little show and tell of some of them. I think that would go down really well.
I'm actually going to. I had the same thought. But what I want to do first is finish my collection. I have 2 or 3 gaps left. And there's some cars that I'm waiting to get released because I've got a lot of older stuff and now I want some newer stuff. So I want this car.
Oh yeah.
That we're driving now. I've picked out an Alfa Romeo from the last 2 years. And I want a George Russell Williams. I don't really care which year because they all look kind of good. And then also the Camo Bull.
Oh, does that even exist as a mini champ?
Yeah, and it's actually surprisingly cheap.
Wow.
There's also the Valentine's Day Alfa Romeo with the heart livery.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that's also cheaper than the regular livery. Like, some reason people don't like buying testing liveries, so they're about €20 cheaper on average.
I'd have thought that would be the other way round, but I guess because it's not raced and known.
Yeah. Because, you know, I have a Brendan Hartley Toro Rosso from a few years ago, but that's the only thing from the last, like, 15 years.
Memorial to pain and sadness.
Well, that's why I got it, because, you know, it was such a crap car, and he was just so lovably rubbish that I couldn't help but relate to it. But yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty cool collection now, one of which you were instrumental in because you helped acquire a 1992 Damon Hill Brabham Judd for my birthday, which I love. I've got a Olivier Panis Prost Mugen Honda.
Oh, that was just me jizzing in the background, sorry.
I've got a Martin Brundle Ligier with the gold wheel rims.
Oh, nice. 93, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jensen Button 2010 McLaren. I have a Heintal Frentzen Jordan.
Ooh, iconic.
Yeah. and this is why I'm listing them, right? Because you'll get it. I've got
Child of the 90s, that's why.
yeah. I've got Luciano Berti Jaguar.
Ooh, left field, but like.
Enrique Benoldi Arrows A23.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Damon Hill Arrows FA17.
It's a shame that you don't have Bertie in the Jaguar from 2001, because then you could have it basically launching over Enrique Benoldi in Reenact Germany 2001.
That would be super good, actually.
There's part of me trying to find a Taki Inoue Arrows so that I could just have it like on its roof with a safety car next to it. Like iconic scenes you'll never forget. Sorry,
I have a Toru Takagi Tyrrell 019.
Ooh, juicy. I quite liked that livery. It was very black and white minimalisty.
Yeah, but it had like a charm
Smart.
to it, didn't it?
Yeah. I think because of his ginormous green helmet as well.
Yes. Everyone loves his ginormous green helmet.
STDs are available elsewhere.
I have... Oh, no, now I have to get to thinking. Who else do I have? I've got Jos Verstappen, Minardi Cosworth PS01, I think.
Ooh.
Or, you know, it's like a 2001 or 2002 Minardi.
So we drove for them in 03.
Oh, yeah, so it's a PS03. My PS01 is... the Hungarian guy.
Oh, Zolt Baumgartner.
Yeah. I've got Zolt Baumgartner because I like his name. Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that as well.
Hungary's finest.
Exactly. I have a Jean-Louis Delatraz Pacific PR02.
The piece de resistance. How the hell did you find that?
I spent literal years. It's embarrassing how long it took to track that down.
I'm so jealous.
I have an Andretti Lotus from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
The Martini Lotus. Which I forgot how good looking those cars were, because the 70s is a bit before my time, but...
Yeah.
This is my first track acclimatization program in this game, and I forgot how much I dislike them. Ayrton Senna Lotus 98T, I think.
Okay.
Was
get
it a
confused.
98T?
I get confused with the actual numbers of cars. I have
hold on. I'm wrong. I got rid of my Senna Lotus because it was damaged.
Oh, shit.
And and that's when I got a 99. It was a 99T driven by Aguri Suzuki, was it?
In 1990 for because that was a year I think that they changed to footwork. Lotus.
The yellow DeLonghi Camel Lotus, Japanese driver.
Oh, Satoru Nakajima.
That's the one. I don't know why I thought of Aguri Suzuki there.
Same period of time.
Well,
because
totally
Suzuki was for LaRousse, so that all of the L's.
That's why I'm getting confused.
In my element now, late 80s through to like early 2000s. Well, from then onwards, anything F1 wise, I'm like an encyclopedia of shit.
Then we're getting down to my last ones now. I have Maurizio Gugelmin, or Gugelmin, whatever it is. March C. Is it 1-8 something or other? The Leighton House.
Yeah.
Because, that's iconic.
Yeah, beautiful car.
And there's something else I'm forgetting. Oh, that's right. Takuma Sato, BAR Honda.
Nice. In one piece.
Yeah, the 2007, and then the last one is, I can't remember the driver, but it's a 1994 or 5 footwork. The white ones with the red ribbon livery.
So that would be Gianni Morbidelli or Christian Fittipaldi if it's the 94.
I think it's Morbidelli.
Yay, love me some Gianni.
So, to finish my collection, what I want is an Arrows A18, ideally Pedro Diniz, obviously.
Yes.
That's the all-black Arrows for people who aren't Arrows nerds like me.
Double dinners.
I want a bright green Minardi. You know, the Thon Metal metallic Telefonica.
Oh, the 2000 livery where it was like luminous.
Yeah. I want the twin liveried BAR. See, the problem is once I get started, I can't stop because there's lots of cars I love.
Pringles.
I wanted a 96 Benetton, the crap one.
Oh, okay. I'm not a massive
because I like
fan
the look
of
of it.
I'm not a hugest fan of that livery, but it's better than what they did before.
And I almost got a Spiker.
Ooh.
But I got outbid at the last minute.
Boo.
And I'm still genuinely seething about it on the inside. Oh, my chat's lighting up, and I've been ignorant because I've been listing all the models I own and all want. But yeah, I need a Benetton. I wouldn't mind a Williams, just, you know, iconic team.
Yeah.
I'd love a Gulf liveried McLaren, but they're not making one.
Really? That
Yeah.
surprises me. That's got all the hallmarks of a cash cow that should be happening.
I guess mini champs don't want to pay the licensing to Gulf, possibly. Because it's really funny, like, there's no Aston Martin mini champs model, which I thought would be an obvious one, but Aston Martin have sold their license independently to Spark. So you can get an Aston Martin model, but it's not mini champs. And I don't like the ones that are not mini champs. They never seem as detailed or as high quality. And I like them all to be the same size and the same style, you know.
If you're going to do a collection, then you might as well go fully in with that type and aesthetic and all of that.
Right, let's go through the chat here. Oh, Beetlejuice is here. Hello.
Oh, hello, Beetlejuice.
He has a 94 Benetton Jos Verstappen. I am jealous.
Nice.
Job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage.
The
Talk you through the numbers.
only one I've got is, I think it's the 2006 or 2005. No, it's one of the blue and yellow Renaults, but I can't remember which year it was because it was gifted to me from my godfather who didn't want it. But it's not a mini champs one. It's like one on an. I don't think it is. It's on a plinth anyway. I need to kind of have a quick look and remember what it is. But I put it in storage because I was a bit like, I can't have that out because I'll be freaking out at it all the time.
I'm incredibly defensive of my collection. Some interesting things coming up here in chat. Canaanite's got a BAR with test livery. Do you know, I want the BAR with the 555 livery from China.
Oh, yeah. I did love that.
Yeah, I do want an Eddie Irvine Jag as well. You're completely correct, Beetlejuice. I love Eddie Irvine. He's my spirit animal. So yeah, so far this year I haven't bought any teamwear, but I am going to cave. Aston Martin is still overpriced, but I think I'm going to get an Alpine shirt because
When driving with the pit assist disabled,
I'm developing a fondness for them that they would never have earned as Renault.
first, you'll pick up a penalty.
And I think it's because I genuinely like their road cars. I play a lot of Dirt Rally 2.0 and original Dirt Rally, and I love the Alpine A110. It's like the car I drive the most. I adore it. I much prefer the old rally cars to the new ones. They're way more fun to drive, I think. Like, give me an Alpine or an old Lancia Fulvia HF any day over like a new VW Polo. Like, fuck that noise. But yeah, I'm going to buy an Alpine shirt, and then I'm going to spend an embarrassing amount of money on Mini Champs models, and that's my embarrassing adult life.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I won't be buying. Well, I've only ever bought teamwear a couple of times, and I'd worn it for the first time actually. I'd got last year's Williams teamwear, which I really quite like, mainly because they were all £5 each, and I thought, yes, we shall have those. So I did, and that was nice.
Well, I mean, for me, the reason I buy them so much is, well, one, I'm a Formula 1 fan and I like to support certain teams, but honestly, they're incredibly comfortable in hot weather or when I'm doing jobs around the house.
Yes.
Because, you know, my mum's northern, my dad's Scottish, of Norwegian descent. I'm not built for hot weather. I sweat really badly when it gets warm, and it's perfect. So like if I'm, you know, going grocery shopping in 30-degree heat, bang on an F1 shirt, and you know, some of them are quite, like the McLaren polo shirts are really quite tasteful. Like the sponsors are not overly prominent, and the orange is not like over the top and garish. It's just like a white polo shirt with some trim. Actually looks quite decent. And the Aston Martin stuff looks good too. It's just a rip-off. It's an absolute rip-off. I know they're the British Ferrari, but they're not performing like it right now, and I think Lawrence Stroll would do well to realise that part of his job is to build up the brand, not assume the brand already has the value he's attributed to it. Because as much as I do love the brand, I'm not spending that kind of money on teamwear. Alfa Romeo should know that as well, because I haven't bought any Sauber teamwear for years now because it's just been a fucking rip-off since they stuck an Alpha badge on it.
Oh, the price of a brand.
I did get another question, actually. Because each year we sort of talk about who our favourite teams are, and we defaulted to Sauber and then to Williams, right? Because they were the last independent teams on the grid.
Yeah.
Now there are no independent teams on the grid. They're all owned by investment consortiums, car companies, engineering firms, what have you. Who are we supporting?
I have to say, and it's purely based on the fact that I think their social media and the way how they now portray themselves is great, but also I would really just like to go to the pub with Zach Brown. So that's why I want life goals to be had. So I've kind of now grown a fondness for McLaren that I didn't necessarily have during their Honda-y days. But also, I just feel like they've come across as humble now that they've been humbled. And I quite like this kind of moment that they're having in the resurgence and getting behind building them up under the Zach Brown era. Still a fan of Williams because it feels I know it's just carrying the name, but it feels like a good link back to things. My loyalty for... That was terrible, Simon. My loyalty to Toro Rosso as Minardi's successor has gone so far out of the window, though, because of the numpty of how Red Bull treat that team as its wank sock, which just makes me very, very sad. But it's interesting. I've gone away from supporting teams, whereas beforehand I did have specific teams that I would follow and be really, really interested in. Yeah,
I have to say, I was going to say the same thing, right? And what I found is now I've gone a bit more like the traditional F1 fan in being more of a driver guy. Because I found myself having a lot of affection for McLaren since about 2015 and Williams since they fell to the back. Like, whenever I see either of those teams do well, it makes me really happy. This season I've also been cheering for Red Bull, just because I feel like if I'm a man of principle, then now Max Verstappen has matured into the driver that I always said he should be, I should be glad to see him running at the front.
Yeah.
And I am, because, you know, it's a difference.
I like I am enjoying the change of pace and the complexity of how that brings a multi-team battle for a championship and what that brings.
And the thing is as well that, unlike like the Mercedes domination period, it really feels like he deserves it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see him working for it.
Yeah, and I think, and that'll be true with, I think, whoever wins this year. Even if it ends up being a Hamilton win, it feels more earned. I agree. It seems like an odd benchmark to throw, but it just feels that way.
And then, you know, you and I have both been long-term Carlos Sainz fans, so I'm loving watching him. And him and Leclerc at Ferrari is making Ferrari quite exciting to me for the first time in decades.
Although I'm still not a Ferrari fan, but I do love those two drivers. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's becoming a lot more holistic now. I'm just a fan of the sport in general, I guess. I will admit as well to developing a fondness for Lance Stroll.
Defend those eyebrows.
Genuinely, I've started sort of willing him to do well. I think because, you know, last year and this year you started to see that a bit more of what he's actually capable of. And the more interviews I see with him, the more likeable he seems. And he totally won me over with this F1 for kids thing. And like, out of all the drivers, he's the one who seems to like connect with kids the best, apart from Danny Rick maybe. And, you know, I always like someone who's a good ambassador for the sport.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with kids. I can't fucking talk to kids. And it's not like I get, you know, mushy over people being nice to kids. I just think it's good for the sport that kids get excited about it at a young age. And having a driver that they look up to is a great way to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's the prison van.
Maybe your hairdresser's on it.
So there's a bit of discussion going on in chat. Kenan agrees that Zach has made McLaren more likeable, and Beetlejuice says, yeah, Ron had to go. I agree, Ron did have to go. Kind of a relic of the past, wasn't he? But here's Ron. The thing. Do you not find, and this goes out to chat as well, do you not think that the McLaren of today, there's a real jarring disconnect between this McLaren and the McLaren of the past? It's like it's a totally different team.
Yeah, I agree. Complete with the all of our Saudi Arabian and Bahraini investors that are in the background. That I always felt like that was a strange thing in the middle as well, because they're going, oh yeah, it's a British team and all of this, that, and the other, but it's actually heavily financed by everything that is not British at all. So that felt like an odd stepping stone, and they're still there, I think, in the background somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean they have been for decades now, right? I mean, even when Big Ron was there,
yeah,
fly Qatar Saudi. And Bahraini owned, really.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? I found myself like I don't credit this McLaren with the same level of engineering skill as the old McLaren, but it's the same team with the same facilities. And it's probably a totally unfair assessment, but there's something in my gut that I don't trust this McLaren to be as like professional and mind-blowing as, you know, 90s 2000s McLaren, which is completely unfair because look at what they've done in just a few years. So it's almost like the team's become more likeable, but at the cost of some of the exclusivity or prestige that it had in the past, if that makes sense.
It does, because it's always like they always say, like the real champions have to be so selfish that you risk becoming unlikable, and then I guess when you take that into corporate worlds, you've always got like the corporate. I was going to say something really rude. The corporate person who embodies that ruthless approach that commands respect, but that's not necessarily likable, and it's almost like you're not allowed to have both.
I'm concerned about our pace again.
My car felt really, really good. I think my traction control was spazzing out though, because I felt in a couple of corners it was like I was locked and I couldn't move forward.
Mick Schumacher as well, genuinely fast in this game, and very fast here for some reason.
Soft tyres.
Yes, I do have Stockholm Syndrome, you're correct. Beetlejuice raises a good point that Red Bull took the same journey in a different direction, going from being the fun team on the grid, like the new Jordan almost, to being like this super serious professional front of the grid outfit, and they've gone the other way.
Yeah.
I think it's great how much your team has been
Improvements in aero.
Oh, I've been offered a choice of who do we want to bum lick? What was we going for next? Was it chassis or aero?
Chassis. Oh, aero. Aero. Yeah. We need.
Cool. I've given them a bum lick.
They keep saying like the team's really doing well. It's like, no, we're not. We're not
Yeah,
doing
that's
well
what
at all.
she's saying to me as well.
So, if your interview was by the team trucks there, here's an interesting bug that I came across. So, my team, my team, has a largely white livery, and the tyres on my team trucks are white. So it's like something from the 50s, like a 50s T-Bird. I love it. So if I ever get rich enough to have an F1 team, I'm going to have white wool tyres on the team trucks.
Amazing.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. This was a big complaint of Simon and I's. Like, we don't have many complaints about this game at all. I'm really enjoying it, and the co-op career mode makes it worth it on its own. But yeah, they have just been lazy and copied and pasted driver and car stats from last year.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And we know that they were bum-licking Schumacher, so he is overpowered. Oh, we've leapfrogged Alfa Romeo in the performance charts. Isn't that good?
It is good.
Right, if it's all right with you, I'm going to skip to quali.
Yeah. No, I was good with that. I'm just going to change some components quick.
Oh yeah, I will do the same before I forget, because I will forget. If that's one thing we've learned, it's that I am a moron.
Oh, see, my control electronics and energy store at 63 and 50. It's 60 and 53%, but I don't have a better one elsewhere, so I feel like they will fail in the race.
They will, and I found out what control electronics affects, by the way.
Oh, what's that?
When it goes, everything else in the engine performs worse and wears out faster.
Right.
So it's actually, I would argue, the worst thing that could go wrong.
Cool. Well, I'll be taking some grid drops. Actually,
Beetlejuice, you're so sweet. He says, correction, the co-op career mode makes it worth it alone if you have a Simon at the ready.
Aww.
You're correct. It all comes down to the quality of your teammates.
Have a willing ragdoll to throw around.
I thought you were going to say a willing wank doll there.
I was going to say wank sock, and then I thought, no, let's you will be back off the grid. Daddy, no. Sorry. Oh,
It's okay. No, please carry on that tangent you were on. I was enjoying it very much.
I've not.
It felt good.
To be fair, just before we went live, I did have a quick swig of my other half bought me for Christmas, although we only got able to exchange gifts in bloody May. Mozart, which is a white chocolate liqueur, proper nice.
Ooh, That's cheeky. So the lady who lives opposite me, she has these scary and vaguely racist porcelain dolls in a pram.
Oh, creepy.
And when her granddaughter comes, she comes over to my place and is like, "Hey, would you mind looking after them for a few days?" We've got a lot of discounts here.
Yeah, I completed all sessions and got 2 purples and a greenie.
Yeah, same. So we have these parts we were going to order have just got cheaper. We can order 2 parts, I think.
2 at a time, baby.
I know, how luxurious is that? Anyway, so she always gives me like a gift for looking after these porcelain dolls because there's always a risk of them waking up and murdering me, I presume. And she used to always give me pomegranate flavoured fruit secco. So it's like Prosecco, but pumped full of chemicals and sugar and everything.
Amazing.
And this time I got something different. I got a bottle of... it's like a mixed fruit liqueur, and it's sellotaped like as a promotional package to a can of chocolate beverage. If I unplug my Alan Partridge microphone for a second, let me go get it, and I might drink it on stream to tell you guys if it's any good, because I've got a fault in my braking system anyway for quali, so hold on. Be right back.
I am going to take this opportunity to get out of there now, because that sky looks very dark. Let's go to track.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
I at least want to see where I could have qualified, even though I'm going to be at the very back with my 60 place grid drop.
Word is the word. Right, here we go. So, a question to chat, because you've got access to Google, and I don't. She gave me a bottle of something called Amarula.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a cream and marula fruit liqueur.
Nice.
Hand harvested. I don't know what marula fruit is. And then attached to it is a can of Chocomel. Chocomel is...
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's supposed to be the perfect combination. It's a... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So, Amarula fruit liqueur with chocolate to mix it with. Right, apparently this is the perfect combination, so I'm going to find out live on stream. So, just a moment, and I'll come back and put my Alan Partridge mic on. Give me a sec.
This does mean that you're now going to win the race, because you always win when you've had a drink. I forgot to switch out the bloody gearbox. Forgot to blade the bloody doors off. Oh, forgot to go on the racing line. Jesus.
I'm so confident my quality's going to be shit. Is it going to rain in this session, by the way?
That's why I went out, because it looked really grey.
Oh, then maybe I'll do a lap before I get pissed.
Nah.
Yeah, there's an increasing chance of rain. Where are we again?
Spa.
Belgium. Right?
Spa. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do a quick lap and then we'll drink. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Kane and I. Have a great evening and a lovely weekend, mate.
Yeah, have fun.
Pleased you could join us. Feel free to watch the replay to get my tasting notes on this fruit and chocolate liqueur that I'm about to drink.
Fruit and chocolate nutcase.
I went to the kitchen to obtain my Lancaster Bomber pint glass because we're going to do this properly.
I swear I just saw a spit of rain.
Yes, you did, which is why I am hoping that I can get a lap in on the dry tyres. Because, like, this season has gone so badly for both of us. Like, the first 3 races, we already had component failures in the race. Then I had a cooling failure, a sensor failure. You had a sensor failure. You had what else failed on your car? There was something that wasn't
DRS
working.
failed once.
Yeah. I had a broken rear wing.
Yeah. I clonked my front wing coming out of the turn with no name. Now I'm exceptionally slow, but never mind. I'm going to be last on the grid anyway, it doesn't matter.
I feel like I should be chilling this chocolate drink, but unfortunately I didn't have the forethought to do that, so it will be ambient temperature chocolate drink with Amarula fruit liqueur. Now, you see, I like Scotch whiskey, but otherwise I'm not really a liquor drinker.
No, I quite like creamy stuff, but I don't... someone's got me a bottle of JD, and I was like, oh, that needs to be coked up. like many people in England probably say, to be fair. But,
yeah, but they're talking about a different kind of coked up.
exactly. It's not Coke Zero. Come on, Sonoda, get the fuck out of the way.
Says everybody in the Red Bull Junior program.
Won't be long before he's out.
No, I don't think he's going to get much more chances, is he?
No, he'll get next year maybe as a thank you for Honda for allowing them for their intellectual properties, and then I think he'll be on the scrap heap, I'm afraid. I still don't like his tone either. I feel like a proper old grumpy person.
No, but I honestly, I don't think it's... God, you're right, I feel old now. I was about to say it's not big or clever, but it really isn't. it really isn't. Like, it doesn't help. And you know, at the end of the day, it's a marketing exercise for Red Bull, so he needs to be marketable.
Yes.
It's kind of part of the whole arrangement.
Yeah. Agreed.
But also, like, you know, he started strong, but then, like, he's just driven really badly.
He overdrives all the time. It's a very Japanese thing to do, actually, is to overdrive everything and go a bit nuts. I've same thing to a slightly lesser extent for this is going to be obscure. I'm loving W Series at the moment. I think they've put on a couple of really good races with good shows.
It is great racing, though. It is.
And before W Series, I was already aware of and a fan of Miki Koyama, the Japanese driver, because I watch Japanese F4 on YouTube because they live stream it, and the main reason why I got into it was because people were taking the piss that there are drivers on there with just like a single name for their name. So there's someone there who's in like his mid-40s called Dragon. And there's like 35 drivers on the grid and he's always about 30th because he's clearly about 17 stone, lumbering around in an F4 car that you can barely get in and out of, but having a great time. So I was like, cool, we should cheer him on. And there's a couple of other ones that are like old grandpas called like Yasuki or something like that. And I was like, yes, this is a championship I can get behind. But she was the only female driver in it. This season she had a great opening round, and then she's been last in the last 2 events, and so she's gone from a championship contender to last place, and she's like, I don't understand why. So they're thinking it actually might be a general fault with the car, but as a result she's overdriving all over the schlop because she can't work out what's wrong with it.
Alright, Treacle, I'm behind you.
Oh, hello. That was me taking a very coastal route in.
I saw some sparks. Right then. It's beverage o'clock.
Whoop whoop. Oh well, thank you everyone for the 7 thumbs up this stream has had so far.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. I do
realised.
like it when people like content. I mean, I do this anyway because, you know, it's fun hanging out with you, but it is also nice when other people like hanging out too.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is a pungent aroma.
Got one of my socks over there.
Oh, that's actually quite nice.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
It tastes like slightly chilled hot chocolate.
Oh.
So there's nothing special to it. Now let's... Bloody hell, this has been welded in. There we go. That smells quite pungent as well. Have you ever had Amarula, Simon?
Yeah, it's nice. But then I like Baileys-y type stuff. But Amarula is more citrusy, if I remember. I always remember the front cover though, because it's got like a Jumanji rope round it and like elephants on the front. And I'm like, yes, I would take that board game.
It does have an elephant on the front. Do you know, it's actually quite nice. I was really hoping this would be a good stream moment, you know, that it would taste like shit, but let's try the combination, because apparently it's the perfect combination. Let's see if that's true. Saint-Troveur. That is quite cheeky, actually.
Yeah.
That is quite cheeky. I like it. Oh. Yeah, you're right, Beetlejuice. You know, Red Bull have learned to... They've set a very high bar for themselves with Verstappen. That I honestly don't think their future young drivers are going to get a very fair crack of the whip.
And they're not going to build and structure an entire team around someone like that ever again. At least for the next... if they're still around in 10 years' time and Verstappen's in his 30s and doesn't want to be there anymore.
When is he going to leave?
Do you think he ever will?
Yeah. No, I do, just because I don't think you can be as big a name as him and not have a career at some of the genuine big name teams. Do you know what I mean? Like surely there's a part of him that wants to drive for Ferrari before he retires. Or McLaren if they make it back to the front. Because also, like, if you really want to show your capabilities as a driver, I think the ability to drive strongly at several different teams helps. I mean, he's not going to move in the short term, right? Because Red Bull seem to have found something. Now, if they really balls up 2022, then maybe that's his gateway out. Is that you ahead of me?
No, I'm not on the track. I'm replacing my gearbox. Because I forgot to do it beforehand. Ooh.
Yeah, I made the mistake of touching the curb, but at least I didn't go into the wall, which was momentarily a very real possibility. Who is it in front of me? Is that a horse?
It is a horse.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Of Mick Schumacher.
Oh, bollocks. See, that's like, you know, walking out onto the high street and squinting your eyes and going, oh, is that a charity mugger? Yes, it is. You know, it's just the worst news you can get. No, I don't want to donate to the World Hunger Fund. Fuck off. You should donate to me. I'm hungry.
Hungry for points.
Yes, hungry for points. I've already lost time now because I'm so angry at charities and Mick Schumacher
But not
showering my
Mick Schumacher
face with
charity.
sparks. Actually, I have to say I'm liking Mick Schumacher in the real world a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think he comes across as a really nice guy.
Well, it's not even
Grounded,
just
down
that he's...
to earth.
Yeah, he's like handling a first season F1 really well. That Haas has pace. Why is that car so good?
Because we've got a Renault engine.
I lost a lot of time behind him now, though.
I was hoping you'd get him down the Kemmel straight, actually.
So was I. Oh, a bit wide there. Do I have time and tyre life for another crack?
Yeah, you've got 3 minutes 50 left.
But I don't have time to pit, do I, for a fresh set of tyres?
Not unless you came in... I'd be really touch and go if you came in now.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to go then, because I think I've taken too much out of my tyres. What's broken on my car? I put everything back. Oh, my gearbox. It's... No!
Oh, no! Oh, you're going to do the Russian thing. Manor, I expected Mick... Oh, God, Manor, I didn't realise you were still here. Poor you, mate. Thank you for sticking with us. You've been here all the way.
God bless you.
Yes, I hope you've ordered a takeaway, or at least some kind of rehypnol for yourself afterwards. I expect Mick to struggle this year, but I'm impressed with him too. I mean, I know it's impressive up against the Mazepin, but just the way how you handle it, the way how he's gone into learning, integrating himself into a team, all of that kind of stuff, the way how you hold yourself, I think says a great deal about people.
Well, I mean, I've been trying to judge him against the car.
That is the best comment. I'm going to wait until... Are you on a hot lap? Yes, you are. I'll wait until it's over.
No, I'm not. Like, the track evolution's just died, so...
Okay. Ben's avatar looks like Anthony Davidson's dodgy brother.
Yeah, it does. But, you know, at least I don't look like Prince Harry. Your avatar looks like Prince Harry. Or like, you know, a deformed Prince Harry. Like a cheap bargain bucket Chinese knockoff Prince Harry.
Verstappen looks Russian. Carlos Sainz looks like he's about to dig your sister and take her into Mexican border. Charles Leclerc.
Ricardo is still my favourite.
Yeah.
He just, for want of a better word, he looks like a mong. It's amazing.
Tsunoda looks like he's been stolen from the Yakuza series, because he's got like that... They've done a weird face shape on him that makes him look really, really chubby. Like he's a Hikikimori who has not been out since 1972. Pierre Gasly they've given facial hair to that doesn't look right face on. He looks like a werewolf. Giovinazzi looks like a Yorkshire plumber who's probably going to be on Crime Watch for taking away several women. They've made him really unflattering.
I thought you were going to say they were reviving granny bashing.
They've made Nikita Mazepin look like a pit bull. Yuki looks like a junior sumo. Yes, he does.
I'm actually aghast at how bad some of the face captures are.
They're
given
terrible.
That they literally scanned people's faces.
George Russell looks like he's trying to do some kind of Naomi Campbell modelling, but they've given him the face of Jodie Foster.
Well, I mean, I have to say, he does do a very good blue steel. He's got the model look, actually.
Yeah, he's got cheekbones.
If Vettel was to retire and Mercedes didn't want him, he'd do very well at Aston Martin because they're sponsored by Hackett, you know, the London menswear company, and he'd be an excellent face for them. And for Aston Martin, actually.
Ricardo looks like a stoned hillbilly.
He just looks like he's had his brain removed through his nose. He's like bog-eyed. It's amazing.
Aww.
Right, I'm sorry, I call bullshit, right? I was P6.
George is in rehab. Looking at that, I agree. It does look a bit like he's had some heroin. Ricardo did cross the line with a second to go.
Maybe but I'm sorry, no, that's bullshit, because the track was wet. I was out on that track. There was no way to go faster. None. I call bullshit.
It's not my 60 place grid penalty.
Exactly, Beetlejuice. A wish Prince Harry. I don't know if you've seen his avatar. I will show it to you if I can. But he does look like... It does look like someone ordered Prince Harry off Wish.
Oh, dear.
Isn't that the best website? Like they target me with ads on Facebook, and the other day they targeted me with women's underwear that was clear plastic. Like completely transparent.
Love it.
Like, who is that for? Who is going to look good in that? Like, it's not like being naked. Like, everything's going to be squished into plastic and then it's going to steam up on the inside and everything. Like, why are they promoting it to me? That and a swimsuit for a dog. Like a pink frilly swimsuit for a dog. Like, what? But, I mean, people must buy from this company, right? Because they've been around for ages. Who's buying this shit?
It must just be like...
shit.
It's like the joke stores that you get with, like, party shops. That must be how they've managed to keep going. They know their target audience. Yeah, that's true. I get all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff from Wish as well. The other thing that Facebook keeps advertising me at the moment is things that want to be included in Gay Pride but have no place in being. So it's stuff like wear your pride with, let me think of the most, with this rainbow kettle stripe, and I'm like, what? It's like how what? Whilst you've got a limp wrist whilst pouring, now you can have a K kettle to match. And then it's things like, do you want rainbow toothpaste? No, because if I'm going to be putting something in my mouth that makes me gay, it's not going to be that. And then it just continues with
best review ever.
just shit that's like pride related, and then I just think, no, that's no good. And then Instagram knows me much better, because all it does is keep on giving me cakes that can go through your letterbox, so you don't even have to get up to get it delivered. And so it's like brownies, blah blah blah. And the thing that it keeps giving me now is I think they're called it's something donuts, but they're £30 donuts because they're the size of they're 20-inch wide, so they're like F1 tire size donuts. Yeah.
Well, we all know that your phone listens to you, right? And we've been testing this in my office by having conversations about things to see if we get retargeted, and we do. 100% we do.
Alexa knows.
And I bought some new boxer shorts fairly recently, right?
Wow.
And I made one comment, which was, I'm not sure if they're going to suit me. They're the kind of boxer shorts you only ever see on gay men. Right, you know the ones I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like the ones that accentuate your package a little bit.
Yes.
They're not the loose boxer shorts, right? But I was told they were comfortable. Anyway, I made that comment, and the next day my Facebook was full of ads like, the best boxer briefs for gay men. What?
Nose.
We have Ricardo, Perez, Max Verstappen, and Norris, McKinnon, Vettel, Sainz, and Charles Leclerc.
Top 10 though. Well done.
Thank you. If I can just get a point, I'll be happy.
Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, and George
Right, what are you doing on the Strategy-roo?
Latifi, and Smith. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
I look like Jensen Button and David Anthony. David Anthony, that's my boss's name. Fucking hell. Anthony Davidson's love child. It's staying dry, isn't it? Good. Part of me screams, let's go reverse. because I'm last anyway. So let's just fuck it up properly.
I was going to suggest that actually, that maybe you want to start on the harder tyre and try and make up some places. I was also considering going for an early stop because it's only 0.00098 seconds slower apparently. But I do wonder if the clean air running would make me faster overall.
What lap are you considering stopping?
4. Default it gives me 5, but I'm thinking 4.
Okay, I'm going to start on mediums and then pit on lap 5 and do 6 on softs because it's telling it. It seems to think that is slightly better to do that.
See, when I try and do 6 laps on softs, it tells me it's half a second slower.
Interesting.
But maybe it's because I've already got some wear. I qualified on my softs. That's why. Yeah, all right. I'm going to try going for the undercut. I'm going to come in a lap early. Right, and this time I'm going to try and avoid having a big embarrassing accident into turn 1 like I did in my career mode playthrough.
Right, glah, 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 glah. Lobby updated, what?
It does that every so often. Okay. You don't maintain a continual connection, I don't think. Oh, helps if I remember to put my finger on the accelerator. Oh, get off me.
Yeah, I didn't even feel comfortable trying to go side by side with anyone through La Source.
And now my underbody has damage, apparently. Thank you for that.
Oh no, you're out already!
Yeah, he just hit me and pushed me right out.
Oh, dude.
Like, no fucking awareness at all.
We can't even restart, can we?
No.
Oh,
what
VSC.
a load of bullshit.
Okay, slow down.
Yeah, it was Ricardo.
Means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was Norris. I got out of turn 1 ahead of Sonoda and Sainz and Verstappen. Verstappen drove into me and started pushing me sideways down the track, so I had to tap the brakes and then brake free. Then he damaged my underbody by doing that. Went up the hill with him side by side, was off the racing line, and then Ricardo just came in and hit the back of me and sent me flying into the barrier.
Oh, God.
I'm actually annoyed about that. I thought the AI was better in this game, but apparently not.
I don't like the fact that you don't get a countdown for VSC returning.
No.
Oh, yellow flags. I was going to say, you're going to have to let me back through there, Russell, because...
Verstappen is in the pits because he rammed me. I think Ricardo's not going... Norris isn't going to be extremely fast because I think he's got a damaged front wing. Yes, he does. From where he hit me.
Okay.
He doesn't have a penalty yet, but he should. That's son of a bitch. I console myself with the fact there was literally nothing I could do.
No. Oh, it's not been your evening, has it?
It hasn't, but I've had fun anyway. Beetlejuice says, from the bottom of the heart of a hetero dude, I love Simon. We all love Simon.
Aww. We love you too, Beetlejuice. You're a long stay for us.
You put up with our bullshit
for years.
Let's go on board with you for a minute.
I immediately oversteer and look like I'm about to bin it.
I'm genuinely urging you to do well now because I'm so angry at Norris. This was a really good chance for points for me.
Fuck. Don't ask.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
Alright, Jeff, fuck off. Alright. I thought it was, I didn't realise it was grass on that bit.
Be on the softs.
I thought I could do a cheeky one. Well saved though, yeah, thanks fella. I've left a little shit stain on the sofa though, that's the problem. I get light through the Eau Rouge.
Yeah, it looks like you've gone light on the downforce, but also you're in dirty air, and that really...
in the Durs train.
Yeah, that really fucks you up.
That's okay, we're coming in early.
The only thing that comforts me is knowing that Max Verstappen's race is ruined.
Yeah, because he's coming out on mediums. They won't last all the way to the end. He'll struggle.
Right, let's see if you can get past Latifi. I believe in you.
Such a low bar, yet so very high for me.
Have you driven many other cars in this game?
Not really. I've spent so much time on my team. I spent almost all the time in my team.
I am wondering if your difficulties this season are simply down to car choice, because the difference between the cars is even more marked than it has been in other games I've found. And every car I've driven other than the Alpine seems faster somehow. Oh, that was a bold move.
We
But you made it
touched, though.
stick. Yeah, but you touched wheel to wheel, so that doesn't count. That's like an over-the-pants hand job.
I thought I was going to bin it easily.
Yeah, I thought you were going to bin it.
It's because I see Mazza spin and I'm like, no! Rage! Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, you could take some tips from him, really, about how to relax. Have you considered sexually assaulting a woman in the back of a car?
Do you know what? I just haven't had the time.
Well, I know it's hard, like particularly in a pandemic. Who has the time? But, you know, it seems to have done wonders for him.
Barely ruined my own relationships in a pandemic, let alone anything else. Oh, this is a bad idea. Yep. Oh, so is that going to be that, though? Ah!
He's going to put you in the wall.
No, he's not. Fuck
He
off.
tried, but he was, the light part of his car was pushing against the heavy part of your car, but he tried.
Right,
Joe, I mean, I really thought the AI got smarter, but I had an encounter earlier today, and then this one just now, where I'm like, they don't seem to detect when you're like ahead of them going into a corner, and they take the racing line as if it's, you know, theirs to take.
Uh-huh.
Pit window open.
But yeah,
Let's lap.
I'll leave you to concentrate because I can see that you're in the fight here for some actual points, possibly.
No, it's Leclerc's buggered his front wing, I think, which is why it's holding everyone up and flattering me. That's more like it. Get that overtake going. I'm sorry, Gio. Your hair is not enough. Oh, yes.
Well done, we needed that as well.
Great pass.
I mean, Alpha are our biggest rivals. I mean, not that they've been scoring points, but neither are we, but it's still good to finish ahead of them. Particularly in case my win gets taken off me on grounds that I've been so incompetent the rest of the season that there's no possibility I could have won without cheating.
How very
What
nice and
happened
PK
there?
Junior. This is what I struggle with, is that sometimes I get this sixth sense as if it's not turning in, and so I have to turn out of it and have a second go, because it's like the feedback from the controller. I had the same thing there, where it's as if I feel like I'm about to go round, and it's like preemptive, and I don't.
I would trust that. I would trust that sense, though. Honestly, I really would. Hamilton and Ricardo are in the pits. Sonoda up to P2.
Okay, I'm in as well.
Oh, you jumped him coming into the pits. Good boy.
Sweaty hands.
Well, I think you're driving a Stormer, mate.
Verstappen's going through.
Look after these tyres now.
Yeah, but he's going to have to
Finish the
pit
race
again.
on this compound.
Next up the road, you've got Vettel, Russell, and Raikkonen.
Okay.
But they are all yet to stop. Giovinazzi stayed out as well. Ricciardo came out P11, but he's stuck behind Mazepin, so might be an opportunity there.
Oh, hello, Callum.
My new arch nemesis, Lando Norris, up in P5. Yuki Tsunoda running in second. Half a second clear of Perez.
He is super over rated in my game. So I did a couple of test races at Suzuka because I was like, the curbs hate me, let's try this. Every time he qualifies fourth. Without fail, he's qualified fourth every time I've raced in Suzuka, and I'm like, okay, for the home territory, but stop.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Oh, I could have taken that flat.
You're gaining on Verstappen, though.
It's nice.
Yeah, actually, you're really gaining on Verstappen. You've taken over half a second out of him this lap.
Our gap to the car in front is 1.8
Raikkonen,
seconds.
Russell, Mazepin, and Stroll are in the pits.
Alright,
1.3 now to Verstappen.
Oh, Gasly's come out on hard tyres.
Oh, that's good news.
It gives me a potential... Oh, 6 seconds up the road, but... There is potential here, come on. Oh, that was an early break. Wrong
The
gear.
gap to the car behind is 4.2 seconds.
Oh, the pressure. Right, we're on it.
Go on, fastest lap of the race, Simon.
Fastest lap of
Come on now, you have to get some points on the board this Grand Prix. You're driving too well. This is phenomenal. I genuinely just set a stream marker then, because I was convinced that the commentator's curse would mean you'd bin it as soon as I finished that sentence. But yeah, I'll keep talking. You just shut up and drive, because your concentration is paying off. Gap to Gasly down to 3.5 seconds. Yellow flag sector 1 and 2. Ooh.
There's 4 laps
Who's
of
that
fuel
who's come
remaining.
off?
So Williams.
Oh, Verstappen's just made a mistake.
Okay, clear.
I love that the AI make mistakes at last. That's really good.
It is. I need them to.
Oh, Beetlejuice is doing a 24-hour at Spa tomorrow.
Oh,
good luck
superb.
for that, mate.
Good luck. I think I know some people that are maybe doing that same thing if he tells us what platform it is that he's racing
It's
on.
iRacing.
Yeah. I know a few people that are doing that, so good luck.
I will have to... I'm on a flight to France tomorrow, but if I get a chance, I'll have a sneaky peek in. Someone's car just made a very weird noise there.
Okay, I can see both Aston Martins and a Gasly ahead.
Yeah. You're taking quite a lot of time out of Gasly.
Shit.
Oh no!
Not anymore, I'm not. Fuck a duck.
Fuck off, Mick Schumacher.
That was a bit cheeky, but fuck it. Okay, now tyres will be hot. This is the other thing I've noticed as well, is that recovery stuff takes a while to sort. Alright, how many laps? A bit too far back. But a valiant effort nonetheless.
This will be your best finish this season, won't it?
Yeah, 13th is my best up until then, so I'm still on improvement. And I still think Verstappen might be up for grabs if he's fucked his tyre wear.
You're not taking time out of him like you were previously, I'm afraid.
No. Right.
If there's any consolation, your car looks incredible.
Okay, gap ahead is 6.3 seconds.
Okay, we're on it again. What a shame. Never mind.
Well, nevertheless, valiant effort. I was genuinely impressed with some of those overtakes.
Sound like my PE teacher when I used to come home 3 minutes behind everyone else on a cross-country run. My teacher said to me, I don't need a stopwatch for you, I need a calendar.
Laps of fuel remaining.
Mind you, that's because we used to stop at the shops on the way.
Well, you know, why wouldn't you?
I should have just done that and backed off, silly me. I backed off at slightly the wrong time, and it's at the elevation point. I should have done it a little bit earlier, and that's what turned me round.
It's so easy to do there, though.
Yeah. Never mind.
I still can't believe I got taken out on lap 1.
I know!
Like, unbelievable. What a bastard.
Nearly lost it then as well. Oh well, this gives me hope for Italy, potentially, with a good low downforce setup, because Spa's always low downforce, and maybe Brazil, depending on how strong the AI is. I've not actually raced on Brazil on this game yet, so we'll see.
Oh, I'm getting a powered by AWS tyre performance graphic. Your tyres are more worn than Verstappen's.
Ah. How's that happened? He's been on them since lap 2.
Apparently, no, he's only had them on for 5 laps. So apparently your tyres are 1 lap older, according to Amazon.
This is your final lap of the race.
I don't know when he took that mysterious ghost pit stop, but that's what the data says.
Thanks, AWS. Well, AWS just does not lie, does it?
No. No, we talked about this before, algorithms and machine learning. Like, the truth is the truth.
Yeah. Nearly went again.
But I do like that it adds that graphic. Like, that was a nice touch.
I would like the ability for, in my team mode, definitely, but just globally, to be able to watch completely spectator races. But I'd love to be able to hire 2 other drivers on my team mode and just have a complete managerial mode. And just watch the AI.
I sort of expected they would do that, but they haven't, because I guess because of Frontier's game, which is out in 2022, March, I believe.
Nice. Need some gameplay of it somewhere soon. Frontier. Not
even seen screenshots of it. Actually, while we're still live, I'm going to do a search now. Frontier Games F1. Yeah, there's been no news since March 2022.
Oh, wow.
Well done, mate.
Boo, let you down. Oh, fuck off, is he the driver of the day? No, you.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, you should have got driver of the day.
Toto with really dark eyeshadow. Looking like he wants to be part of Rocky Horror Picture Show. I would pay for it.
Yeah, that's really worrying. There's been nothing from Frontier about this game. Like, aside from the announcement, and then there's an article saying we're getting 4 F1 management games in 2022, but I'm pretty sure most of those are mobile.
Like you said, never mind. Just a minute. Yeah, I love me an F1 manager game. I need to get going with some. I might see if I can do something around Grand Prix Manager 2 or something like that. See if I can contact Neil, who used to do all the mods for him. He deleted me off Facebook. Bitch.
This is why I'm going to have to cave and do Grand Prix World again until this Frontier game comes out.
I will definitely be doing stuff when the Frontier stuff comes out, and any other ones that come that way. I'm a sucker for them.
I just hope it's multiplayer.
Oh, yes.
Like, allow 2-3 new teams onto the grid and have like 2-3 players. That would be so good. Right, what are the standings? I'm still 10th in the Drivers' Championship.
I've moved to 14th as the best loser.
And we've lost a place to AlphaTauri in the Constructors. And Ferrari have pulled away quite substantially. McLaren have leapfrogged Red Bull. So I would like to say it's all to play for, but it's just not.
we might have AlphaTauri back again. We'll see.
Interesting though, no mid-season driver moves.
No,
I've offered the chance.
I've noticed this in my team. The contracts for my second driver, and I picked Artem Markelov. I couldn't do a mid-year thing again because the contracts are all like, because it was a 10-season championship. Everything is cut down price-wise as well.
Yeah. I saw you and I are both bargain basement drivers. We're both valued at 1.02 million. So Alpine should be able to afford to retain both of us, actually.
Yeah.
It's safe
but I'm just not sure if I'm going to or not. Because
There are rumors that you're looking for a contract
whoa.
with another team.
There are rumours that you're looking for a contract with Alpha Tauri. Is there any truth to that?
yeah, Simon, are you?
I don't know.
You and Yuki?
He would not be my Hyper Nippon. Oh. Of course not. I'm happy where I am. I wouldn't want to go to Alpha Tauri.
Why not? It's a good car. And it's a
Because
better engine.
I will not touch anything with Dietrich Mateschitz with a barge pole.
Kimi Räikkönen is kicking my ass in this rivalry.
So I think I might have clawed some back though. Oh no, I'm back ahead. 2016. We're okay. Oh, I'm up to level 7 on the acclaim. Nice. Cool.
Right then, let's see if there's any last details we want to tick and cross before we call it for the evening and I go and pack my bags for my jaunt
La
to
Francais.
La France.
Oh, we got our crankshaft.
Oh, just a day fucking too late. Right, we can order some more R&D parts. Shall we see what's available? We got some discounts, so...
I'm next to the aero as well, so hopefully that will help.
Oh, the cockpit weight reduction is now cheaper.
Oh, cool.
Or we can have Y250 vortex generators. God, that sounds like a Bond villain super weapon.
That doesn't seem like as chunky a upgrade as the
weight
cockpit
reduction.
That seems to be the biggest slide on the scale,
Yeah.
don't it?
Alright, I'll go for that then. Unless we want to save up for a powertrain upgrade for Monza. The big one though is fuel technology power. And then, oh wow, oil combustion. The thing that Ferrari got their engine banned for.
Great. Loving that these all make sense.
So the fuel technology upgrade, we're about 700 points from, so one practice session, and that's a major upgrade for the engine for Monza. Or we go for the cockpit weight reduction.
Will we have, so because it's a major upgrade, will it actually be ready in time for Monza if we end up doing it at the end of, because normally it takes like 2 races to get a chunky one
estimated
through.
completion if we ordered it now is 8th to the 17th of September.
Oh, that's not helpful. It doesn't tell you
No.
anywhere else where they are. I reckon I think I think cockpit rate reduction personally,
Then let's get that ordered.
just because we've got the decounts.
Ordered.
Hey.
And that is a big upgrade actually. That should leap us ahead of McLaren and possibly AlphaTauri if they don't upgrade as well. While McLaren's car has really dropped down the performance rankings. And Ferrari have really leaped up. They're the 3rd best car in terms of chassis performance. Wow, that's wacky. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody who stopped by to say hello and hang out with us on this rather hot and sweaty Friday night. And big thanks to you, Simon, for being the delight and pleasure that you always are.
And you too, sir. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I am gone for 2 weeks. Yeah, so I'm back on the Saturday, so maybe we could schedule a stream for the Sunday if you're feeling a bit naughty.
Oh, you juice. Yes, see if we can schedule in something for then. But yeah, have a wonderful holidays, and yeah, hopefully you can find something nice and Parisian or something. Oh no, well, Baroque, not Baroque, you know what I mean.
I'm trying to grow on Twitch, so I might actually stream while I'm away. I can't play games, but just chatting seems to be a way to get people following. That's one of the tips I received. So I might do a beer stream at some point from a beach in France.
Onions and garlic, but with a beret.
Yeah, I'll be wearing a beret and have a curly moustache and on a bicycle.
Hello,
that's what it's going to be. Yeah, what about you? What are you going to be doing while I'm gone? What can people see and expect from you?
Aside from pining for this, so I've got some excellent stuff coming out over the next couple of weeks for Buzz Junior games on the PlayStation 2, including an outtake video where I drunkenly played Buzz School Quiz, which is where it tests you against Key Stage 3 questions that are in SATs exams for children at the end of primary school. But I was too drunk to answer the questions. But there's an audio problem, so it's not nearly as funny as what it should be. But I thought it was half hour of me confused, so I thought it's worthwhile sticking out. Also, some good luck, have fun game battlers with my mate Chris. We was playing some mini games that's coming out, and some games that are coming out for review. I've got on release day because I've actually got about 10 or 12 games that I've been privileged to be sent before their release. So I'm actually relevant for once for game reviews.
Oh, you're always relevant to us, Simon. Well then, that about wraps us out. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm sorry that the last race wasn't really a race. As you can hear, my PlayStation's about to explode. So I'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for everyone who's watching live, everyone who watches on replay, for all the nice comments we receive. Grand Prix World will be back in about 2.5 weeks, and we'll be back in 2 weeks ourselves. Mwah, mwah. Love you. Bye. Mwah.
Bye.